All right, folks. Hey, I think we're live, but as you know, we got to test this out here real quick, just to make sure. It still says please stand by, starting soon. Always like to make sure that it's coming in loud and clear, that we're working just fine before we get things moving. I've been on a few Hangouts before where I've literally talked for like a half hour, and then people are like, dude, we couldn't hear anything you said. So.
You guys should be able to hear us better tonight. We actually are on a different server now, and so it shouldn't be breaking up like it has in the past, which we're actually really excited about.
All right, folks. Hey. All right, so it looks like we're going live there, and you know, as we get into tonight, you know, the first thing I want to start off here and just say is, as you guys all know, this has been the absolute smoothest launch in the history of our industry. No, seriously, folks, the bottom line is this has been one of the biggest launches in the history of the industry. And one thing that I know is anytime something challenges the status quo and big changes happen, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort and a lot of fight, you know, freedom fighters. And so that's what we've had to do. You know, we've had some obstacles along the way, which we'll touch a little bit on tonight. But that being said, you know, we've worked through all of those and things are looking amazing. And so what we wanted to do tonight was get together with each and every one of you and really talk about a few different things, how we're moving forward. One of our goals, and we believe with what we're gonna share with you tonight, you're gonna see this vision really quickly, is how we're gonna bring in 20,000 new members in the next 30 days. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about the top tier commissions, about the $500 to $5,000 commissions or so that you'll all be able to earn within the Freedom Fighters Network. You know, because our vision, and we'll get into this later, our vision was never for you to make a ton of money with $25 and $5 commissions. You know, that was never our vision. Our vision was always to get people to make the larger commissions. And we've got that coming, and you're going to understand why it's been taking a little bit longer. We're going to talk about what we've learned from our first 2 months. And yes, I got an outline right here. If you notice me keep looking over here. Because if we don't have an outline, you know, me and Angela will ramble in circles for a few hours. And, you know, we'll say a lot of awesome things that will change your life. But the bottom line is we won't cover most of what we came down here tonight to cover with you. So, you know, let us just go on with that. So we're going to talk about what we've learned over the past 2 months, how it's made us stronger, and how it's going to help us move forward in a much more powerful way than where we were 2 months ago, or even before that. You're going to learn some funny things tonight that happened even before launch. That you know, me and Angela were on a walk today, and we were laughing about the one thing that we're going to get into in a little bit about how we thought we were actually going to build this thing, and it's just hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious looking back on it. We're also going to talk about how the company started, how we created the massive success, literally 10,000 members in our first 3 weeks. How do we do that? And how we're going to use what we learned back there to do that all over again, only a whole lot bigger and bringing in a whole lot more people as we lead into the launch or the pre-launch of our top tier where we get to earn big commissions, because that's where the money's made, folks. You know, before I pass it over to Angela here, I just want to let you know that I've been involved in different companies over the years. And the ones where I've made the most is not looking at what I make initially off of a customer. You know, not looking at, like, usually there's a low tier.
That's awesome.
Awesome, Eric. You've always, dude, you're like a graphic designer or something. Oh, that's
badass.
Gangster. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah. So the thing that we know is it's never about what you make on the front end, right? It's never about that initial $10, $15, $25, $5. It's not about that money. The customer value comes from being able to sell people a really, really quality product at a higher price point so you can make higher level commissions. That's what increases your customer value. You know, I used to know, for example, in the last company I was in, that my average customer value was about $900, not including monthly residuals and not including pass-ups from team members, right? It was $900 some odd dollars just on the front end for my customers based off of what they would buy after they decided to get started with me. Knowing that, I was very happy to spend $300, $400 to acquire a customer, as long as I could do it on autopilot, right? As long as I could acquire those customers on autopilot, I knew that I could achieve a 5-figure monthly income off of 11 customers. It was awesome, you know? And so that's been the vision, the entire vision here. And folks, it's coming, right? It's coming. You're gonna hear more tonight about some of that stuff. With that, you know, that's what we're gonna cover tonight. And with that, I wanna pass it over to Angela, and I'm gonna grab a drink of water.
Awesome, awesome. So welcome down, everybody. We're really excited about tonight. Really excited about the direction that the Freedom Fighters Network is heading, and really excited to have you guys all on board here with us. Jumping right into it here, you know, the first thing that we always start off like talking about inside of our Hangouts is the reason why we got started with the Freedom Fighters Network. If you've been on a Hangout or two, you know that our reason why was so big and so important to us, that all of the obstacles that we've faced along the way, which there have been several, several really big ones, our reason why that we're doing this keeps us going each and every day. You know, going back about 6 years ago now, when I first got started in the industry, I struggled for a really long time. I struggled for about 4.5 years, went $45,000 into debt before finally figuring things out, before finally earning, you know, enough income to actually quit my job. And what happened is then I went into a new phase of my business wherein I was making enough money to, you know, live the lifestyle that I wanted to live. I could go on vacations, I could have free time, I could do all these things. It was great. But I looked at all these people that I'd sponsored. You know, Jordan and I together, before the Freedom Fighters Network, had sponsored about 1,000 people combined together in multiple different companies and multiple different things. And looking back on it, literally between the two of us, had less than a handful of people that actually—
That's a handful.
Yeah, handful is like less than 5, that actually achieved anywhere close to the level of success that we had achieved. You know, I had like one person last year that really started to break through, and then she, you know, lost her success over a series of a whole lot of other events that I won't actually explain here tonight. But the bottom line was, what we found over the years of being in the industry, and the years of our struggle, and the years of watching our team struggle, is that there wasn't anything in the marketplace. There wasn't anything available to the brand new person to where they could actually come in and realistically achieve success in their first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, few months. There was this learning curve that everything required. Because this is what happens, you know, if Freedom Fighters is your first opportunity, I envy you. Congratulations. That's awesome. I know a lot of you guys here, though, it's not your first thing. You are in a lot of different other things, and the first thing that every other company does when they bring you in is they say, oh, you're going to make money right away. Just get started now.
Yeah, raise your hand if you've ever heard that before, folks. Raise your hand over there on the comment stream. Like, have you been involved in another company and they said,
you're going to make money right away, and then you get in, you get started, you do everything they say, and, you know, all of a sudden, a year later, 6 months later, you're finding yourself just getting no results. You know, this is where I was for so long. This is where my team was for so long. And the bottom line was there wasn't anything out there wherein we felt like we could actually bring somebody into something, teach them, you know, a few things, and have them actually succeed. So when Jordan and I got together, literally going back, you know, not too long ago now, we came together and decided that we wanted to create something wherein it was simple enough for the brand new person to succeed. It was simple enough for single moms and grandmoms and grandpas and people that are retiring. It was simple enough for anybody that didn't have any kind of experience in this industry to be able to come in and get a result immediately, right? By following a few simple steps. The problem was, you know, when we first came up with this idea, I'm like, yeah, this would be great, but nobody had ever created it before. We had never created anything like it before. We've been in companies where there was this long learning curve, and they give you this instruction manual with all these marketing strategies, and you got to learn headlines, and you got to learn, you know, how to write ads, and you got to learn all these different advanced skills. So it had never been done before. So Jordan and I get together, we decide we're going to do this. We flop 5 funnels, like flat on our face, like just literally like the worst kind of failing that you've ever seen in your life. We, as people that are earning, you know, 5-figure monthly incomes for a while now.
Can I tell about the one funnel?
Yeah.
So,
jump right in.
So we were, and we were having a dinner party over at Angela's condo. This was a few months back. And we had about 10, 15 or so people over. Most of them leaders in the industry in one of the previous companies we've been in, really good friends of ours. And we had been working on some funnels that we were building, building for our teams and whatnot. And essentially, we started testing this funnel that it was like a beautiful thing, we thought. It was an absolute beautiful thing. We tested this funnel. We got traffic flowing. Essentially the first couple, I don't know, it was like 10, 20, 30, 40 clicks that went through, we ended up getting signups, right? And we're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. We started jumping up and down and hugging each other in the middle of this dinner party. After we had told each other, we're like, we can't tell anyone we're working on this in case it doesn't work. Well, we were a little bit buzzed up on morons. And so we're jumping up and down like, oh my God, it's working. And everyone's like, what is it? And we're like, we can't tell you. We can't tell you. Well, the crazy thing happened is one of our traffic providers at the time misunderstood when we said, hey, we want to run 1,000 clicks to this thing to see what happens, and then we'll run more once we make a few tweaks or whatever. Well, they ran almost 10,000 clicks to this thing, and after the initial 40 and us getting 2 signups, we got 1 more signup. So we got 3 signups out of 10,000 clicks on this funnel that we worked almost a full week on building that we thought was just absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so flop, folks, flop. 10,000 clicks, 3 signups. Just absolutely.
And that was our 5th flop. That wasn't our first one. That was literally like the 5th one that we flopped. So, I mean, going back to that, it was obviously pretty embarrassing because people then from our dinner party were asking us for the next couple of weeks, like, what was that thing? Like, what are you guys doing? We know you're doing something. And we're like, oh my God, like, we're actually losers. We freaking flopped this thing again. And so, going back to that, what we decided to do at that point was we went to our traffic provider because we knew we had good traffic. We went to our traffic provider and we were like, okay, we know it's not the traffic. We know that this is good. It's clearly us. What are we doing wrong? Because you run traffic to other offers, and other offers, while they're not converting how we want them to convert, they're certainly converting better than 3 sales and 10,000 clicks. So let's take a look at, what components are missing out of our funnel. And what happened was we ended up studying, a lot of different top performing things in the marketplace and coming up with something that incorporated a lot of those things. We found that when you offer something for, a trial, offer a free trial or a $1 trial, it converts way higher because it allows the person to come in and actually build trust with you. They actually can come in and see what you have to offer before they actually pay for it. And that was one thing that we wanted to include. We had, a few other things that we came up with. And I won't get into all of these things tonight because we actually have a lot of things that we want to cover that are coming, but I really want to kind of grind down and actually get into what actually built this company so you understand where we're actually going in the future. So going back to that, there was a timer, but we didn't want to have like the fake scarcity timer and tell people, you have to take action now and then have it be all fake and then whatever. We wanted to have like a real timer. So we put that in there. There was several other different components that we discovered needed to be in place for our thing to actually convert with cold traffic. And what we found was that when we went to Bali, we sat down, we actually drew up a funnel in Bali, like sitting down at the beach. We drew up a funnel and we're like, this is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to go. It's going to incorporate all of these components that we know that we need. And then it's also going to incorporate all of these amazing components that nobody's ever brought to the marketplace before. And between those things and our creative originality that we know that we have, we're going to create the biggest thing ever. Right? So this is our idea going back to Bali. So in coming home from Bali, we finish up the funnel, we launch it.
Well, can I cut in here really quick again?
Yeah.
Okay, folks, this is what we were talking about on the walk today. And this was just so funny. Like, I mean, we've only ever been parts of other companies before. And yeah, we've built, like our own team sites and our own capture pages and our own sales video pages and different things of that nature. But typically, usually for our own traffic to be run through, and not something where we were going to build out, an entire system with affiliates and have payouts and have hundreds of thousands of visitors coming to it on a weekly basis. Like essentially, I've built multiple team sites before on WordPress, and so so we had the brilliant idea to get this plugin called DAP, Digital Access Pass, for WordPress, which is a cool plugin. If you're talking about bringing in a few hundred affiliates, it's a cool plugin if you're talking about staying small. It's a cool plugin if you're not going to the moon, right? If you don't have a rocket ship to the moon, we were actually just talking to this industry legend the other day, who will remain nameless for the time being. But some cool people who took notice of what we're doing here got connected with us and said, hey, we'd love to chat with you and, you know, see if we can guide you in any way, help you in any way, all this awesome stuff. And some really cool people that have helped a lot of different startups in our same positions throughout the past, I don't know, 5-10 years or so. Anyways, they're like, you guys probably didn't realize that you had the rocket ship to the moon when you first were building this thing, you know. We were going to build this entire thing on a WordPress site, and I built the entire thing myself, essentially. And we ended up getting connected with our programmer because he was literally going to add 2 components. One was the timer that you guys all know about. One was that timer that's just so crucial. The other one was the pass-up structure inside the thing to make sure that people got coded to the right person for the top tier that we had built into the back office at that point in time. Those were the only 2 things that he was working with us on. Well, here we come about a day before we're getting ready to go into testing, and we realized a few things that would not have worked out. We're like, oh my God, we thought this thing would do this, it didn't. We thought this thing could do that, it doesn't. And so we literally went to our programmer like, dude, like we're literally just freaking out. Like we don't know what to do. But that being said, we're freaking out for about 12 seconds. We took a deep breath. We said, let's contact you. Let's see if we can, we're going to get this sorted, right? He called us back in 10 minutes and he said, here's what we're going to do. We'll just build everything from scratch, right? So we weren't using another piece of technology. We were building everything. It took a few days longer than what he said it would, but it got done the way that we wanted it to get done. And so, you know, that's a really cool lesson that we realized is, you know, don't trust other people's technology to do what it is that you want to get done when what you need to get done is very unique and very custom, not cookie cutter. You know, it's not a cookie cutter thing that we want to get done. It's very custom, unique of what we wanted to get done. So, folks, if we would have launched with that thing, I mean, we would have brought in like 400 people and the system would have crashed. You know?
So everything happens for a reason. You know, we're really, really grateful, really grateful for our programmer. He's been absolutely just like essential throughout this entire process, works around the clock for us just to get this thing, you know, going and working in the direction that it's working. Really exciting stuff coming, which again, we're going to touch on here in just a minute. So going into our launch, after we drew up this funnel and after we, you know, found our programmer and realized that Jordan wasn't going to be building the Freedom Fighters Network site.
I'm not a programmer.
Yeah, in fact, he gets his hand slapped every single time he tries to program something. Aaron is like, Jordan, what the hell are you doing? Stop it.
I mean, any of you out there, like, you guys all know the copy and paste method. Like, you look at someone's site, you say, okay, you go to code, you copy their stuff, and then you put in little elements of what you really want in there. Although you don't really know how to read code, so you mess things up and break things. When you do that on a site like ours, the programmers get really mad at you. So
yeah, in fact, anytime our site has gone down, it's actually been Jordan. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh man. So you know, going into the launch, we had like everything that we needed in place to take this, and we didn't know. We knew it was going to go big. We had no idea that we were going to bring in 10,000 people in our first 3 weeks. But literally in the first, you know, couple of days, we realized that it was a whole lot bigger than we had imagined. It was a whole lot bigger and was going to go a whole lot further and a whole lot faster than anything had really gone before.
And what we were set up for.
Yeah, that too. You know, looking at the notes that I've got here, we literally brought in 188 people from cold traffic, our first 60 hours of testing. Mm-hmm. Do you want to touch on that for a minute? What we did a little bit differently there than every other launch that's ever.
Every other launch has not worked this way. I've never, ever seen a launch work in this fashion ever. And there's a good reason why it doesn't, because the other way absolutely works. You know, it works to get a company moving. It works to get people flowing. It works to, you know, get things moving and money flowing and everything. And it helps a lot of people make money. Typically in the home business industry, here's how it's always worked in the past. Someone's had an idea. They've come up with a company. And I don't care if they're building it offline or online. They have a product. They have a service they're offering, whatever. They typically will get together with their good friends, people they've done business with before, people they've built companies with before, people they know that have marketed before, maybe they've done JV projects before, different things that they've gotten together on in the past, and they'll say, hey, look at this awesome idea I have. You know, we're going to bring it to the marketplace. If we get a group of people together, we can launch it together, and we can take this thing to the moon, and we can all make a ton of money because, you know, we'll build big teams. They'll go out there and we'll get, you know, like that's how it works, right? Like that's always how it works. Any single company, I've helped launch a few different companies, and it's always been, let's get big marketers together. Let's get them marketing it. They'll bring in a bunch of other marketers. They'll all market it, and so on and so forth. There's nothing wrong with that marketing strategy, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It works. It's built tens of thousands of different companies over the years, made billions and billions and billions of dollars over the years. That is a phenomenal way to build a company. The issue lied in the fact that the struggle that me and Angela had, wherein we were making money and a very few of our leaders were making money, but no one else ever really did. You know, we'd had people come in and literally spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and not get a single sign up, not make a single sale, like not bring in a single person. You know, we'd have people come in and go through the learning curve for 6 months of marketing and be generating some leads and, you know, never make a single sale. I got a team member of mine who wrote 3,000 blog posts, generated thousands of leads, and made one sale ever, right? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And so while that strategy works, it never worked for the little guy. And what we mean by little guy is the new person, the person that's not an advanced marketer, the person that's never successfully built teams before or has the backstory to say, hey, look at what I've done in the past. Let me share with you how you can get those results too, right? It's a lot easier, folks, to market something when you've got results with it. It's a lot easier to go to people and say, hey, you should trust me because look at the results I've gotten. Let me show you how I've done it, right? It's a lot easier to go to the marketplace and do that. Well, how do you get there when you're starting from ground zero, right? Most people struggle. Most people never get that first sale, and therefore they don't get the confidence, and therefore they don't get that first sale. I mean, it just literally holds people back because they don't believe they can do it. And other people look at that and say, well, you've struggled for, I mean, I have friends of mine that were like, dude, you struggled for 6 months. Why would I want to join you? Well, because my life is free now. And, you know, I don't know. You know, would it be worth to go through for 5 years what I went through in my first 2 years to have the lifestyle I have now? Absolutely, right? Like, absolutely. I went on 23 vacations last year and worked like 4 hours a week on average, right? Is that awesome? Yeah, that's pretty freaking awesome. Is it worth working for years to get there? Absolutely. Most people will never stick that long, right? We wanted a way where the brand new person could get results, and we knew the only way to know for certain that the brand new person would be able to get results with our thing was to not launch in the typical way that everyone launches. We said, if we can build a funnel and not tell anyone about it, no one knew about it, like not our team members, not our parents, not our friends. We were building this at a friend's house, a 7-figure earner friend of ours. We were building some of this stuff at his house and texting each other back and forth via Skype and giggling and, you know, whatever. And he's like, I knew something was going on. I just didn't know what. And clearly,
well, he even asked us, and we were like, no, nothing.
We're not
what are you
doing
talking
anything.
about?
So we kept it hush hush, and we kept it hush hush because we wanted to make sure that it was fully tested with cold traffic. And once we began testing, we started telling people, oh my God, these results are staggering. That being said, folks, please, please, please wait. You know, don't go trying to search for anything. Don't go trying to do anything. Literally, let us finish up our cold traffic test. And what we mean by cold traffic is people that have no clue who you are. You see, because we knew that if we could get people that had no clue who we were to come in through a traffic resource and get started, make a decision to get started with us, that other people could use those same traffic resources and they too would get people to decide to get started with them. We knew that. We
the same amount of people
knew that. Yeah. And so knowing that, we said that's why we were trying to build funnels that worked with cold traffic this past almost like 8 months now, and every single one of them flopped up until this one. And this one took off just absolutely phenomenally. 166 people came in our first 60 hours of testing.
188 actually.
188, wow. 188, sorry. In our first 60 hours of testing across a few different traffic sources with a few different tweaks to the thing, we had consistent results across the board. And so when we came public and said, look at what we created, look at how this is working, other people were able to plug in and say, oh my God, it's working, right? Oh my God, it's working. That's how we got 10,000 people in our first 3 weeks. It wasn't just from our traffic resources. Here is the concept, and Angela is brilliant. This was her concept. She said, I want a way where people can come in, get a quick result. Doesn't matter, like quite honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what it takes for someone to get that first result, if it, you know, at all. It doesn't matter what it takes to get that result, because once you get that result, you can turn around and say, look, all as I did was stick money in over here and I got results over here, right? That's all I did was I put money in and I got results. I didn't know what I was doing. But once you have that result, folks, you can turn around. It's called results-based marketing. You shout your results from the rooftop to get more results, right? You shout your results from the rooftop to get more results. Oftentimes people are afraid to do that because they're like, well, I only got, X amount of leads, or I only got X amount of signups, or I only made X amount of money. I'm not competing with the person who's making 10, 20, 30,000 a month who wants to work with me with my results. Well, there's a ton of brand new people that have never gotten a single result that we knew if we could go out there and help people get their first sign up, their first couple signups, their first 5 or 10 signups, that we could then teach them how to market that to the marketplace. And they could go out there and create YouTube videos and Facebook posts and blog posts and all sorts of different things in marketing, as well as emailing to their current list of leads that they're generating, or the people that are showing interest in joining a business, and they could get more results, and they could get more results. And the people that have followed that formula, and some of which you're going to meet tonight, have just gotten staggering results. It's just been absolutely phenomenal to watch, unlike anything I've ever seen in my life before, right? Unlike anything we've ever seen in our life before. And so that's what we're going to introduce you to some of those people in a little bit. You're going to get to hear specifically what they did, how they did it, so that but that's how we got our initial success, folks. Let me grab a drink of water. Do you want me to keep going here, or?
Either way. Yeah, I mean, like going back to the past 75 days of our launch. Well, like we said, it's literally been the most successful launch of all time, even with all the bumps in the road and all that kind of stuff. You guys, if anyone knows of a company that's brought in, 10,000 people in their first 3 weeks and over 20,000 people in their first 2 months, do say I, because I don't know of any other company that's done that. And we've faced, literally loads of different struggles over the course of the past 75 days since we launched, and we learned a lot from those struggles. But the bottom line is, we can say all sorts of different reasons that we struggled with different things and different things happened. The bottom line is it's our fault. Going back and looking back over all of the different struggles that we faced, it really boils down to the fact that we trusted the wrong people. In a lot of different circumstances, we looked and we said, this person or this company looks like they have more experience with this kind of situation than we have, so we should put our trust in them. And that's literally led us down to, stumbling over quite a few rocks.
Without actually, and it's not wrong, folks. I want to touch on this. It's not wrong to trust people that have experience in certain areas, that have more experience, that do certain things better, i.e. like we have Aaron doing our program. He's phenomenal, right? Like he's absolutely amazing.
The site would really be broken if it was me and Jordan doing it.
it's in moving forward with the wrong people, without doing your due diligence on that person or on that group of people, without doing your due diligence and kind of just putting a lot of trust in them in a lot of different areas.
Based on the resource they came from or something like that, versus doing your own research.
Right.
Like we should have done our own research on a lot of these different ones, but it's like we've gotten different connections along the line wherein we trusted the resource that it came from because it seemed like a very, very, valuable resource there. We're like, oh, if this person said that this person's okay, then this person is probably okay. Exhibit A, our customer support. A few weeks back, you guys that have been here for a few weeks with us, recall a hangout that we did wherein we unveiled what was promised to us to be the best customer service on the planet. Because customer service, and I know that our customer service has not been awesome. A lot of that is because we didn't expect to bring in, part of it. Yeah. We didn't expect to bring in, 20,000 people in our first month. So it was our first 2 months. So it was the case of us trying to get more and more and more people. And then we hired this company a few weeks ago that was supposedly had, 15 years of experience in the industry of customer service for biz ops. And we added in phone support that was supposed to be amazing. We did that prematurely to actually, having tested it out ourselves. We trusted a resource that we shouldn't have trusted. Hence, you guys realize today we don't have phone support. The good news is, like we've been talking about throughout this hangout, whenever we've built some things ourselves, whenever we've gone out there and actually had Aaron build things versus us trusting outside companies, that they're about themselves. All companies are really about themselves, right? Versus companies, your company and your people are all about you. So when Aaron goes and he builds something, it always works. Every single time it works. Yeah, of course we've had our site go down, a couple different times here and there when we were first ramping up in the middle of launch. But for the most part, everything that Aaron has ever done has pretty much turned to gold. And so going back to, those roots and in realizing that our solution to all of this is really building things out ourselves versus trusting other companies to do it, what we're going to be adding in the next couple of weeks is we're going to be adding in live chat support, which is actually the original vision that me and Jordan wanted to go with versus phone support for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it's more cost effective for us to actually do that because basically, you can have somebody on chat that's chatting with 5 different people, or if somebody's on the phone, they're on the phone with one person. But really, more than anything, it had to do with the fact that he and I would prefer that. If we were you guys, we would rather be chatting with somebody and doing 10 other things on our computer and actually getting stuff done. Yeah, and it's more productive to do it like that.
How many of you guys sorry for cutting you off here, but how many of you like calling in and then being on hold for a little bit? I hate it.
That's annoying.
It irritates me more than anything in the world. I know though that if I open up a chat window on my computer and I type in my problem, that it might not get answered instantly, but that person is coming to it, and then a ding happens and I'm like, oh, cool. But I can go off and I can continue working on the other thing without having to sit on a hold and wait to talk to someone, right? Like nothing irritates me more. I don't even like being on the phone, to be honest with you. Like I hate being on the phone. And that's why I don't prospect, I don't like doing any of that stuff. It's something I've never wanted to do. It's one of the big reasons why I'm so excited that we created this amazing company where I haven't called a lead, ever, ever with this company. And we've already brought in somewhere around 1,200 people personally, or maybe 1,300 or so. I don't even know.
Yeah. And even when we go into launch the top tier, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, most top tier companies require you to be on the phone in order to actually make sales. The thing that we're putting together is literally going to happen automatically. You're going to be literally able to earn anywhere between $500 and $5,000 automatically through the sales process without you ever having to pick up the phone.
Who's excited about that?
It's freaking exciting. I'm excited about that. I'm jumping a little bit ahead here. This is why we have the outlines. Otherwise, we'd be all over the place. But going back to customer support, because I do want to touch on this. We're not launching live chat support today for one reason and one reason only. We don't want it to suck again. We are really tired of launching things prematurely and having them not actually work the way that they're supposed to work. So what we're doing, we actually have 3 people that have been with us for the past 6 weeks actually. They know, I think probably 6 weeks, maybe it's been a month. I don't know. It seems like forever. It seems like the last 2.5 months of launch have encompassed 3 years of our life here because we work so many hours. But going back to the 3 people that I personally brought on, they do an amazing job. A lot of you guys have communicated with them. Those of you guys who had the fortune of communicating with them versus the phone support, I'm sure that you know what I mean. We've got 3 people. Shayana, Carmel, and Fahim. I've personally trained them. They know the answers to things. If they don't know the answers, unlike the phone support, they don't make them up. They come to me and ask me.
Yeah, that was really interesting, folks. I want to touch on this for just a moment too. I just want to bring this up to bring it to your attention. We don't believe in what was happening there. We believe I personally believe there's no such thing as a stupid question. Angela believes this too, because if you don't know the answer to it, if you've never learned it before, some people are like, I know this is a dumb question. Well, not if you don't know the answer. It's not a dumb question. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask if you don't know the freaking answer, And what we found out, just literally shortly before we ended phone support, was that our phone support was being told, don't ask questions. Don't come to me and ask me.
Not by us.
Not by us.
By the company we hired.
Yeah, don't come to me and ask stupid questions. So they were afraid to ask questions. And so they were literally making up answers. I got a thing from a guy today. He's like, I got this answer and this answer. And it was 4 different answers on 4 different occasions, all with the same question that he asked. And I'm like, this is crazy. Holy cow. No, ask questions. If you don't know the answer, come to us and ask us the question. If we don't know the answer, we'll go to where we need to go to get the right answer to give you the proper answer, rather than making something up and making people, giving people the runaround. It's just absolutely crazy. Some companies that we've dealt with we go to one person in the company and ask a question. They tell us, oh, this person knows, and then we go to the other person, and this person tells us the exact opposite thing, and it's the runaround. It's actually really
it's the most frustrating thing ever, which I'm sure that you guys have, understand and have witnessed. And we apologize for that. Again, this is our fault. We should not have hired that company before doing our own due diligence on it. So even though it wasn't us saying, hey, don't ask questions, it still boils down to the fact that we shouldn't have put you guys in the hands of that company. So apologies. We are fixing it. And that being said, going forward, we do aspire to have the absolute best customer service out there, and it's going to be done by way of chat support because, like we said, it's awesome being able to literally do whatever you're doing on your computer, and then also be able to just jump on, ask a question to somebody, have them actually know the answer. Imagine that, right? And if they don't know the answer, they're going to have. We're actually the 3 people that we have that do know the answers right now that come to us. We're bringing on, a group of people. They're going to be working under them. Jordan and myself are going to be training those people as well as the people that are already in our support that actually have the answers. So I hope that's really, really exciting for all of you guys. We're putting you guys in really good hands in terms of customer support. We're really, really excited about the direction that that's heading. But who's excited about live chat? It's awesome, right? Really, really exciting stuff.
I love live chat. Yeah. One thing too, folks, that we just want to mention to all of you. Let me just go ahead and answer this question. This guy asked how he gets in touch with support. So let me go ahead and answer that question. Another person wants to know how they can ask questions. Well, we might get time for questions here tonight, but we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So if you do have questions, go to the support or the contact page or whatnot. To look back on what's happened over the past 2 months here. And say that it hasn't been frustrating would be a complete lie, and we know that it's frustrating to each and every one of you who have been here through all the bumps and bruises and whatnot. And we want you to know it's frustrating for us as well. It's not like, it's not like we're sitting here looking at it and saying, oh my God, why are people upset? No, we get why they'd be upset. Like if we were in your position, we'd be upset, right? If we were in your position, we'd be upset. In fact, we were in your position and we got so upset a few years ago that we actually walked away from a company wherein if we would have stuck around there, people that were making similar incomes to us at the time went on to make millions of dollars, right? Yeah. People that had similar team sizes as what we had went on to make millions and millions and millions of dollars because they could see where the future was headed. They could see the company owners had the vision and the wherewithal to withstand whatever and fight for that success. That company went on to become a very, very big company. Some of you know which one we're talking about, right? The bottom line is this, folks, we made that mistake. And we want to urge each and every one of you, don't do what we did, stick through with us because with what we're going to be talking about tonight, folks, and what we're going to reveal to you here tonight, and really with what we've done over the past 2 months, all that we've learned, all the blips, the bumps, all that stuff, that's in the past, and one really big thing that we learned a few weeks back, and a few different people have said this to us, but some people actually just talked to us this week, and these people have literally built downlines in the millions, millions of people they've brought into single companies, right? And they said to us, they said, you guys, you got one of two options here. You can keep focusing in the past and trying to fix all the stuff and fix all that stuff that happened back there, or you can make sure moving forward that everything is working right, which it is, and focus on to the future, right? And that's really what we want to urge each and every one of you to do with us, is not look back to what did happen as, like it happened. There's nothing we can do to change that. But moving forward, what can we do? Well, we can learn from what we did wrong. We fixed all of those problems. We now have stuff working smoothly. Our company is healthy. Our site is working. Our stuff is running smoothly. And you're going to get that as you continue to pay attention here tonight. Moving forward, we're moving in the right direction. We are moving in the absolute right direction. And ultimately, we would not be here had we not gone through all that stuff. I've had some people come to me and say, well, why didn't you wait till your system was absolutely running perfect in all these areas before you launched it? Well, because we didn't know what 20,000 people would do to a system, right? We didn't know.
Yeah, we did test 50 or so test sign-ups before we launched.
Right. I mean, I've seen multi-deca $1 million companies go launch something after they've already done launches and launches and launches and have errors, have mistakes. The is while we've fixed a lot of stuff and while moving forward, we have everything working amazingly, there's still going to be errors moving into the future. Like that's nothing with technology. There's something you just cannot get away from. You know, it's interesting. I love this. This one always gets me. And I want to share this with you guys, but just because I think it's hilarious. And I love Louis C.K. This guy cracks me up. You know, technology is always going to have issues, and the one that he talks about is cell phones. You know, like cell phones going in and out of service, and people being like, "Oh my God, I hate Verizon because my cell phone service kicks out." You know, and it's technology. Like it's going to kick out sometimes. You might not. You know, you see the commercial with Verizon where the guy's like, you know, yeah, I can hear you now, or whatever the key phrase is for Verizon, I can hear you now, or can you hear me now, or whatever one it is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there
How
we go.
about now?
Yeah, there we go. You know, that one, right? And it's always working, it's always working, it's always working. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Some places it doesn't work, and some people get so upset. And, you know, Louis C.K. joked about that. He said, you know, it's so funny. I see people saying, I hate my company because my service kicks out when I'm like in my basement or driving under a bridge or something crazy like that. He said, why don't you go build a cell phone company? Why don't you go take a couple aluminum cans and strap them up on top of your roof and see how well your cell phone company works? It's just so funny to me because it really does go to show, like, we have amazing things, but knowing that it's not always going to work perfect, knowing that not only technology has errors in it, but there's human error in stuff. People make mistakes, right? And we have to understand that moving forward, that while we would love everything to be perfect all the time, it's never going to be, right? And so knowing that, we do have that being said, folks, I do want to say that we have a ton of stuff right. You know, to our knowledge, everything's working perfect right now. There might be some mistakes in the future. I'm not going to say there won't be. But everything is looking phenomenal right now. We're going to share some of that with you here tonight and talk about some of the really exciting stuff that's coming up in the very near future. So I don't know where we are on this anymore. I think we kind of jumped around.
Okay, there looks like a good place to start. So the whole hangout, you know, you guys have seen for a few days we've been promoting this hangout because it's really, really important for us to have you guys really attach yourselves onto the vision of where the company is going. All of you guys understand, if you didn't before, you do now, since we've talked about it so much in this hangout, why we started the Freedom Fighters Network, where we came from. But the important thing for all of you guys here to understand tonight is where we're going. So what we want to talk about next is how we're going to bring in 20,000 new freedom fighters in the next 30 days. Now, I'll tell you why that's our goal. You may have already put 2 and 2 together and caught on to this already. In our first 2 months, like I think it was like 60 something days, we brought in 20,000 people. So it took us 2 months and some change, 2 months plus a few days, give or take, to bring in 20,000 people. We want to not only bring in 10,000 more people in the next month like it took us for the first month. We want to bring in 20,000 people just inside of the next 30 days. We want to literally recreate what happened during the beginning of the Freedom Fighters Network. And the way that we do that is by looking back at what actually brought us all of the success that we had. How did people bring in so many people right from the beginning that were brand new? And really it goes back to our vision for the company, right? People came in, realized that they would be able to not only have success themselves, they'd be able to have their new people come in and have success. We had leaders attach onto this thing like nothing I've ever seen before, not because they needed the money, not because, you know, they needed to come in and make 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 a month. They came in and attached to this because they saw a way for their people to finally succeed. And their people that came in went through this simple process of 5 steps. And by the time they were done with those 5 steps, what happened? They were getting signups of their very own for the first time, some of them. We're going to introduce you guys here to some of those people tonight. But the steps in that process that were so crucial, right, were the steps 4 and steps 5. Why? Because those were the actual marketing steps. The first few steps are setup steps. They're obviously, you know, very necessary. You can't, you know, be out there marketing without your profile done. You want to make sure you're in the Facebook group. You want to make sure you have an autoresponder. But steps 4 and steps 5 are the steps wherein, you know, number 1, you can buy our traffic. You get our exact same traffic resources. How did we literally create 188 people inside of the Freedom Fighters Network in the first 60 hours? We launched this to cold traffic. And then we offered that traffic resource, the very same one that got us all of our success. We put that in the back office and said, all right, now all these new people come in, you guys can use the same resources that we use in order to get traffic. Therefore, if we're getting these results, right, which is anywhere between 1.5% to 2% of the people, these are our results, across thousands of clicks. So if you get a couple hundred clicks, I can't guarantee you're gonna get the same results. But that being said, if we get these results with this same traffic, with this exact funnel, you should get the same or similar results, right? It just makes sense. That was step 4 rather. Step 5 was the Facebook marketing. Jordan put this together. He actually built, a very, very substantial income, not just through Facebook events. There's a lot of other more advanced stuff that he did to build his business and some paid stuff that I did to build my business through Facebook. But that Facebook event is a great way to get out there to your Facebook audience, and it's a non-intrusive way. Right? So many different companies are out there teaching you guys hey, go contact all of your friends and send them a link and
start a conversation.
Yeah, start a conversation and your friends are like, what the hell is your problem? I am not interested in this. Whereas, the strategy that we did was very much a pull strategy versus pushing the opportunity on somebody. The only people that are going to even click on that event are people that are interested in making money from home. There wouldn't be any other reason to click on it. It's not a private message or anything like that. So, basically it was simplicity. Simplicity and the vision of the Freedom Fighters Network is what took us to 10,000 members inside of 3 weeks, because we had so many people come in that were able to get our same exact traffic resources. They were literally able to just buy traffic, get a result. And then what happened was, and Jordan mentioned this in the beginning, we're talking about results marketing. They were able to go out there and market their results because we have more training in the back office that teaches you how to exponentially increase your results when you go out there and market them. We've got somebody tonight that's going to be coming out and talking about that. In just a little while, we just have some more updates to cover before we get into that. But this is what happened, right? A few weeks ago. What happened was our traffic that had been getting us all of these results that we were getting, probably 70% of the people that were joining the company were coming from our traffic resources, not from anywhere other than our resources that we were operating in the back office. A few weeks back, you guys noticed the traffic slowed down. Right. The traffic slowed down. So I'll let you cover that.
Yeah.
And then, yep.
So the traffic slowed down for a few different reasons. One really simple one, folks, is, as you guys know, when we transitioned from our old payment system to the new payment system, because the old gateway, that company we were working with, was really a POS, for lack of better terms, and we couldn't pull, we literally had to erase data in there. And as we were moving over to the new one, there was an interim there where we were not able to actually run the credit cards. We were literally just pulling it in. When we went to run those, a lot of people that had gone to purchase traffic didn't actually effectively buy the traffic. They weren't actually charged for it. We knew that was going to happen. We could not keep running traffic at that point in time. We had to wait until we could balance out the books and make sure that we weren't running traffic for people that didn't pay for it, right? That's, while that was something that was not necessarily the easiest decision, it was something that had to be done. We had to pause that way. We've since figured all that out, and people have noticed that traffic is running. While it, we knew it was going to pick up a little bit slowly, because when you start picking up with someone, any traffic providers, they usually don't say, okay, you guys need 300,000 clicks a week or 100,000 clicks a week, let's just run it all instantly. They have other people that they're running traffic for. They have to switch things around and shuffle things around. So we're like, okay, it's moving up a little slowly. It should be picking up here, about now. We started to notice, this is where it should be picking up. The only thing was it didn't start picking up there, right? And so we got in touch with our traffic providers and said, hey, what's going on here? Traffic should be flowing. We're giving you money. What's the deal here? And essentially, we don't know anything about traffic, to be honest with you. We don't know how the whole thing works and whatnot. But what they told us is that their servers actually crashed, and they got shut down. They could no longer actually send the traffic from those servers because those servers just completely crashed, got marked as spam, all this other stuff. Well, you can't launch a brand new server from what they told us. You can't launch a brand new server and then start sending 100,000 clicks a week. It takes about 6 weeks to scale those up, right? And so we have to keep scaling up with you really slowly, or we can start to look for something different. And you guys noticed not too long ago that we found another solution that we're going to be working with alongside that solution, alongside that traffic source. We're still going to use it because they're phenomenal. They've literally
and then they're going to get back
traffic
up and running. They're going to come back.
But we started looking around, and essentially, luckily enough, again, saving grace. Aaron's a beautiful person.
Aaron's our programmer, in case you guys don't know that.
He's our programmer. He's he builds sites and stuff for all small businesses around the world. He's got his thumb in all sorts of different marketing things. He built SMUD, he built autoresponder, all this different stuff. Well, he just so happens to have some connections in Australia with really good traffic that we tested out not too long ago, and it's working just as well as our other traffic was. Now, while we won't be able to get as much with as we can with the other traffic source, it's something that can help ride us along in the interim and allow us to get traffic. So
we've got quite a bit actually locked in for this week and also for next week. So I want to kind of go over that with you guys as well. What we're looking at here, and I've got my notes here. That's what I thought. Cool. So what we have lined up here is actually pretty exciting. We've got 50,000 clicks lined up for Friday, this coming Friday. We've got another lined up for Monday. The thing about this particular traffic, it is amazing. Like Jordan just said, we're getting literally the exact same conversions that we're getting with our other traffic, which is ranging anywhere between 1.5% to 2% from click. That means a visitor that lands on your marketing funnel to actually buyer, right? So it's awesome conversions, literally like the same exact conversions that we were getting with our other resource. The only difference, of course, is we can get literally 50,000 clicks on Friday with this one, whereas we were going to take like another 2 or 3 weeks to get that much with our other one. Like I said, the other one will be back. It's just going to take a few weeks for them to actually build up their servers to actually withstand the amount of traffic that we need to actually send that way. So basically what's going on is this. The new resource that we're using, it is a little bit more expensive than the resource that we were using before, which is obviously a downside, and we didn't want to come to you guys, especially knowing that we want to grow 20,000 more, freedom fighters over the course of the next 30 days. We didn't want to come to you guys and be like, okay, so we're using this new traffic source and it costs 10 cents more. Because that wouldn't really grow our company very fast, right? So what we're looking to do, or what we actually did do, what we were able to line up with this traffic resource of Aaron's, is we were able to actually offer the same price and traffic for the next 5 days until Friday night at midnight. We're going to offer the same price. And in fact, we're actually going to offer a lower price on traffic. If you're able to do a wire transfer with the minimum amount of $1,000. Now, the reason why wire transfer would be less than not a wire transfer, in case you've ever entered the world of merchant processing, you realize those guys charge you like out the ass for
hefty fees.
Yeah, for fees. And so basically what we're doing is cutting the merchant processing fees out of that. If you're able to wire $1,000, which we're going to give you wiring instructions here in just a minute, but we're running this special all the way through Thursday night at midnight is when we need these orders in by. I think I actually just said Friday, but that's not correct. Wait, no, is it correct? Did we get him to do Friday?
Well, we can get the discount till Friday, but the traffic might not start running. The stuff that's ordered after Thursday. We got to get the traffic orders in by Thursday was the last I heard, maybe Friday.
Hold on, let me just check my Skype quick, guys. All right, sorry, hold on. Quick thing.
We've been working around the clock to get these things lined up, folks, so let us just...
Yep, cool. Yep, it's Friday at midnight. So this is the two options for you guys. If you're able to get your order in by midnight tonight, that's Eastern Standard Time, so you've got like a few hours left. If you're able to do that, we will make sure that your traffic runs this Friday, and Friday is batch. We got 50,000 clicks that day. And we also have, obviously, some of you have ordered traffic already. It's not been delivered. That's also going to start running that day.
Yep.
Okay. If you place your order anytime after midnight tonight and between Friday, now I've said a few different things, but it's definitely Friday because I just checked my Skype. Apologies there. Friday at midnight, we will be able to run your traffic on Monday. Now,
starting on Monday.
Right. That's what I was just going to explain. So some of you guys may or may not understand how traffic works. You cannot blast 50,000 clicks through in the matter of like 2 minutes. Okay, it just doesn't work like that. So it's starting on Friday and starting on Monday. It doesn't take 3 or 4 or 5 weeks to run either. It's going to run over the course of a few days, but just want to make you guys aware of that. You know, if you're in Friday's batch and you don't get traffic till Sunday, you know, don't come hunt us down and kill us. It's just how traffic works. Obviously, the way to ensure that you're in the front of the queue versus the back of the queue on Friday's traffic would be to order traffic sooner rather than later, because traffic is going to be delivered in the order that it comes in. So again, what we're offering here for you guys, what we're able to offer through our provider that we have through SMOD is 75 cents for wire transfer, 75 cents a click with a $1,000 minimum order. And we're able to offer the current price, which is 80 cents a click until Friday at midnight. Now, after Friday at midnight, we do have to raise the price because we have to pay more as well.
Right.
We're able to run this for a week to ramp up, get everybody, you know, tons and tons of signups at a discounted rate, and really help the Freedom Fighters Network and you guys, each and every single one of you, to be more successful in the next 30 days than you have in anything that you've ever done in your entire life, because we truly believe that we have the easiest way for you guys to actually succeed right here at our fingertips. Is just a matter of tapping into the traffic resources that we've already tested and proven, getting you guys those signups, and from there, man, we're just ready to take this thing to the moon.
Absolutely, you know, and want to touch on this. Want to touch on this one last thing here. We do have 2 things set up, folks. If you want to do a wire transfer, we have a special email set up where you'll be able to email in, and we'll get you the details on how you send the money. It is wire@thefreedomfightersnetwork.com. Again, that's wire@thefreedomfightersnetwork.com. You can send us the information there, and we'll get you back with specific details on how to do that. And again, you get to cut out all the fees and costs and whatnot, which is why we're able to maintain that low cost price there. You know, really the big thing that we know, right? How are we going to get to 40,000 members? How are we going to go beyond that and get to 50, 60, 100,000 members? How are we going to go beyond that and bring in hundreds of thousands of members with our ultimate goal in mind? Remember, folks, our ultimate goal was not to bring a few leaders in and have them make a ton of money and their teams kind of flounder around never getting results. Our ultimate goal was to help the brand new person or the struggling marketer to finally see results online or start seeing results right away online. And in doing so, we ended up attracting a lot of leaders our way. But with that being said, while we love you leaders, we love you all, that you're not the reason that we built this, you know, like, you know, we're excited to have you here. We're excited to work with you. We're excited to help you and your team succeed. But the thing about it is, how are we going to get brand new people getting results quickly? Well, it's through traffic. It's through providing the traffic resources that we know work. With the capture pages and funnels that we know work, and we're testing new stuff literally as we speak. Some of our leaders have come to us and said, hey, this is working. We got to test it. It's coming. It's being built and tested and stuff. We should actually have some of that stuff in the next few days, which is really exciting. More funnels that are working even better to get more results for our people. We'll literally just make that the default funnel as that's always our goal. Like me and Angela talk about this. You might come into other companies and all of a sudden you have 15 different funnels you can use. Well, you have all these different capture pages leading in all different directions. But what does that mean? It means you need to understand marketing to the degree that you need to know, why would I send someone here versus here or here? What kind of traffic would I send there? What kind of message would I say to people to send them there? And it ultimately freezes people because they're like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, but if we could literally keep things so simple, which is what we've done here, a 5-step simple process, wherein we run the traffic for you, we send the traffic there, we put the funnels together, and you get results. Of course, after you get results, you can turn around and say, you can start building your own stuff, you can start building your own funnels, you can start doing different stuff like that. and we'll guide you in that direction. Like that's our goal, is to guide you in that direction. But we want the brand new person to be able to plug into a simple process and get results. That's why we're going to go to the moon. That's how we're going to bring hundreds of thousands of people in. It all starts, folks, with getting a lot of traffic flowing. And we know that's what took us to 10,000 members, right? Now, not all 10,000 of those members came from our traffic resources, right? But about 70% of them did. And then what happened was those people were able to turn around and go market to their own people, to their own resources, to their Facebook, to their YouTube, to whatever, and get more results, right? That is the ultimate, that's just how this works. That's how this thing has been flowing so smoothly. And as we started to get away from that, we said, why is it going, this way? Well, obviously the bumps and bruises and whatnot, but now it's going back up, right? Because the company is healthy, the system is healthy, the stuff is working, things are flowing, people are getting, support is getting better, it's getting organized.
Support is going to be awesome.
Support
like I
phenomenal.
can actually personally assure you guys that support is going to be phenomenal going into the next 1 to 2 weeks as we implement this live chat support and as Aaron builds it out into our system as a part of our system. Saw a couple questions come in there. I just wanted to reiterate a couple of things. First, I saw somebody ask, what's traffic? Basically, traffic is a website visitor that lands on, in this case, your marketing funnel. If you go to your dashboard inside of the My Freedom Fighter menu, you're going to notice some affiliate links. The top affiliate link under your affiliate links is the link that we automatically by default send traffic to. As Jordan said, we're always testing new things too. So in the next few days, then we're actually rolling out a bunch of tests for different capture pages. And if one ever converts better than the one that's there right now, we're always going to be adding different things in there for you guys, always having the best thing default to our traffic resources that converts, right? So that's what traffic is. And then I saw somebody else that says they can't, it says we can't purchase by credit card. Yes, you can purchase by credit card. There's two different options here. You can purchase by credit card literally by going to step 4 inside of the Freedom Fighters Network. So you just go to the freedomfightersnetwork.com, and then at the bottom you go to your login, you log in right there, and then you go to step 4. In that step, you can purchase traffic. It's 80 cents a click if you if you purchase it by credit card. The thing that we were saying about the wire transfer is if you guys do a wire transfer, what that allows us to do is actually cut out our merchant processing fees, which are like through the nose. And so what we're able to do is if you order $1,000 minimum order and you want to do a wire transfer, we can offer 75 cents a click instead of 80 cents a click. You save 5 cents for every click. We are doing $1,000 minimum order, not because we're trying to be jerks and have a minimum order. It's because we literally have to go through and manually put your link in when you order it with the wire transfer, whereas it automatically goes in to the place that it needs to go when you actually order it through step 4. So again, 2 options. Option number 1 is to order it in step 4. It's 80 cents a click. Friday at midnight, it has to go up to 90 cents a click because that's what our costs. They're increasing, so we have to pass it on. We were able to lock in this discount though, so that you guys can actually purchase traffic at a much lower discounted price for the next 5 days. And then the 75-cent one as well for the wire transfer. We're offering that until Friday at midnight.
Yep, and that price will be going up as well. The wire transfer price.
Yes.
We got to figure out exactly what that's going to be, but it's definitely going to be going up on Friday at midnight.
Exactly.
So again, the wire details, folks. Wire at thefreedomfightersnetwork.com. Wire at thefreedomfightersnetwork.com. That's the email address you can send into. We'll get you all the details right there. Literally nothing else comes into that email address. If you try to send other stuff into there, like we'll literally push it away or send it in the right direction. But that's the only things that should come into there, and we'll get you all the details that you need. Excited. I just got to say that I am pumped. Because what we're doing here, folks, is we're changing the world. And when you face obstacles like this, not only do people come and push obstacles in your way, but the universe does. The universe is testing, saying, hey, you're really going to do something different here. You're really going to go out there and create something new. It's like I don't want to be cheesy. Never mind. But I was thinking of Columbus Day. Like I looked over and I just realized it was Columbus Day, and like something popped into my head there. I'm not going to be cheesy like that. But the bottom line, folks, is when you're doing something new or you action. Columbus years or so to talk people into backing his stance to get him to sail across the ocean in the opposite direction. You know, to convince people that the world was not flat, the world was round, and that he could sail east and west, east. I think west. I don't know which way is which here from over there. But it took him 20 years to talk people into believing in his dream and moving forward with him. So there's always opposition when something amazing comes along. And this is no different, you know. We have faced opposition. We have fought through some obstacles. We are freedom fighters, right? We have helped a lot of people to make their first money online. We've helped a lot of people to bring their first team members in. I mean, we have team members that struggle to recruit in other companies that they are now teaching their team members how to recruit. And they're going to hear from one of them in just a moment. Do you want to?
Actually, a couple of them.
A couple of them.
Just wanted to cover a couple things, and then yeah, we're going to actually bring out a couple of different people here. If you order, okay, so you just answered that, but I'm just going to re-say it here. Somebody asked if we order by credit card through Friday at midnight. It's 80 cents a click. That's right. Again, after that time, it goes up to 90 cents a click. Because our costs are going up, and unfortunately we do have to pass that on to you. Otherwise we would lose money, which would be a pretty bad business move on our part. I saw somebody else ask something, go down under Eric. That paragraph right there. Okay, so cool. I think we covered this already. Somebody had joined the Hangout about 20 minutes late. And we're talking about getting, I guess they heard us talk about getting leads or not sales, maybe in a previous company that we were in. Basically, you know, in case you guys are new or you haven't realized, basically our entire vision for this is for people to get sales on the front end. And it's what's happening. We've never been focused on generating a lot of leads. In fact, you know, our currently capture page that we have, it weeds out people that are tire kickers, and that's why we have such a high lead to sale rate. We also have a very high click to sale rate because our traffic is so good. And we really, more than looking at, you know, generating a bunch of leads, what we care about is for you guys to be able to go out there, use our traffic, and get sales.
Right.
Get sales, because this is the thing that I've watched so many different people that have been on previous teams of mine, previous teams of Jordan. What we watch people flounder with is, you know, there's this stigma in the industry of you need to build a list. You know, you need to build a marketing list. And I'm not going to say that you shouldn't build a marketing list, because I think that you should. I think that everybody here should have SMOD. But the problem with the stigma of the money's in the list that everybody always talks about is that how can there be money in the list when you don't know how to market? When you're a brand new person, you've never had a result before, you decide to start marketing, you've got this list, and now you're told, you know, go learn how to market to your list. We didn't want that. We wanted something that converted on the front end, wherein people that bought traffic got sales, and they were then able to then market to their list that they acquired through getting the paid traffic and say, hey, I'm brand new, and I already got 5 sales in this thing. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All I did was come in and follow 5 steps, and that actually increases their results. They're able to get more results by way of just coming in, buying traffic, and then turning around and saying, hey, I got these results. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. You can do it too. Because anyone can do it. Anyone can do the thing that Jordan and I did. Any one of you can bring in 188 people in your next 60 hours if you want to. Not your next 60 hours, but the 60 hours that happen between Friday and Saturday when we start running your traffic, right? Anybody can do that because it's not complicated. There's no skill set required there. It's literally the case of you going in, getting traffic, the same traffic that we use, and then having the traffic automatically run to your correct link. There's really nothing simpler. Like, if we could make it more simple, we're gonna try and figure it out.
If you guys can show us a way to make it more simple, I would love to know a way, and we're definitely open to it. You know, that's one thing Angela and I both know as well is, folks, we don't know everything. And, you know, there's people that come to us and say, hey, you should look at doing it this way, or hey, this would work better. You know, one thing I know is this, folks, ego will get in people's ways a lot of time, very, very badly, and it'll cause just complete destruction of their success. You know, I remember back when I was cooking in the restaurant that my parents had brought me into, And I was about maybe 4 weeks into actually cooking. I'd been a dishwasher and done no cooking of any sort. And I was working with a guy who'd been cooking for about 40 years, really knew what he was doing. I didn't know anything. I mean, I could barely cook French fries. I would literally mess up French fries. I would have to pull them out and say, hey, are these done? And he would look at them and say no. And I'd put them back in. And, you know, I didn't know how to cook French fries. Like, that's how bad I was when I started, right? But that's where we all start. But there was one thing I was doing, and I forget what it was, but he looked over at me as I was doing this and he said, whoa, what was that? And I was like, oh, and I showed it to him and he's like, holy cow, in 40 years of me cooking, I've never seen that. That would save me about an hour and a half a week. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, right? Well, he wasn't so egoic that he was like, hey, I've made more than you. I've been doing this longer than you. I'm better than you, that I'm not going to look at something that you're doing, even though you're brand new, and say that you might not know something better than me. We might have a brand new person come in and figure something awesome out and say, hey, you should do this. Or we might see someone come out and do something that we didn't even know could be done because we don't know everything. And we'll say, oh my God, we need to bring that to the company. You know, so we definitely do want to know if we can get a thing easier. But I want to touch on, before we start bringing, we got to bring some people out here. Do you invite or should I?
You can invite, but I think that's not what he was asking there. It says the outstanding orders from Friday will start going out on Monday, not Friday. The only ones that will go out on Friday are the ones that are ordered before midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, and then of course the orders that were all placed before today that have been dripping through. We're moving those orders over to the other traffic resource so that you guys can obviously get your traffic that you already paid for. And then were you gonna touch on the top question there? And then I can invite people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Was I inviting people from this?
Oh, I can invite people, or you can invite people, and then I can.
Go for it.
Okay. So the top tier.
So the top tier folks. Well, you know, as some of you know, we built this company for a specific company that we were involved in. You know, we moved in different directions for various reasons, which we don't have to get into. You know, love that company. They're doing phenomenally. We chose to go in a different direction. And we were looking at one specific company that we got connected with. And, you know, I believe we've touched on this in the past few weeks a few different times because people are really curious. They want to know, hey, when can I start making these big commissions? Not only that, some people know that, you know, we've just said, hey, this product is phenomenal. You're going to want it whether or not you're selling it. And so some people are just ready to buy it because they believe in us and they know this product is going to be awesome. And it is. You know, this product is going to be amazing. And it was amazing. And the bottom line was this, though, folks. We had a lot of people coming to us and saying, hey, let's launch this top tier thing right now. Like, let's get it moving now while we have all this momentum going, while people are hungry for it. And we said, well, hold on just a moment there, folks. Like, yes, me and Angela would love nothing more than to have you guys earning $500, couple thousand, $5,000, $6,000 commissions like right now. We would love nothing more than to have that be happening a month and a half ago when we first looked at that company. But here was the issue that we ran into. We said, we are not going to move forward with someone before we actually, you know, really look into them, really make sure that they're the right company, really make sure that, you know, we have the freedom that we want because we're freedom fighters, right? We're freedom fighters. And so we want to make sure that not only we're free as a company, but you're free as affiliates to do what you want. A lot of you are in multiple different companies. A lot of you, you know, this isn't your only show. You know, this might be a side show for you. This might be whatever. This might be your main thing, and you want some other side shows on the side because you want to make money and other things. And there's a lot of great products in our industry that you can make money with, right? We didn't want anyone to be tied down. That being said, there was a few different things that we were looking into, and really the ultimate, getting to know this company and really getting to know the owner who we would have been working with. Their vision wasn't as big as ours. They didn't believe that we were going to grow as fast as we were. They were looking at the amount of people that we had brought into our company and saying, oh yeah, but that's your company. We'll never bring even, you know, like their vision was a couple thousand members in a year, you know, like we're like, dude, we're going to bring in a couple thousand members in like a few days, you know, like we need to get on the same page here. Well, after a few weeks of literally trying to convince this person about how big the Freedom Fighters Network is going, right? And you've all seen this, how big we're going, how big we're growing, how many people's lives we're going to change, and how many people are going to want to get in on this product line, because quite honestly, it's not a product that we're just selling to sell the product. We love the concept of the product. We love what the product consists of. We love what it is, and we would want it even if we weren't selling it. That's how cool it is. And not the other way around. There's a lot of things that I've been involved in the past that I was kind of just selling to sell. You know, I was like, oh, I can make money selling this. And yeah, it does help people, but I wouldn't buy it if I wasn't selling it and making money off it, you know. This is something that I would buy either way. And so we're really excited about it. Again, that being said, folks, we could not move forward with someone who would have hindered the growth of the company. And moving forward with someone who's holding us back from our true potential, it doesn't make sense. You know, one thing that we know is if you're going to run with someone, if you're gonna get on board with someone, like a lot of you come on board with us, your vision is huge, right? Your vision is amazing. You want to build this thing to the moon. Well, that wouldn't work if me and Angela didn't want to also build this thing to the moon, right? If we didn't create a rocket ship that could fly to the moon, that would grow bigger and allow for you guys to have your rocket ships inside of there, right? If we didn't have that for you, if our vision wasn't big enough, your vision would be hindered. There would be a ceiling, like a glass ceiling, right? And we said, fuck that. No glass ceilings here. And so what we had to do, is literally look back and say, okay, what do we do here? You know, we really like this concept. We really like this company idea, but we're not going to run with something that's going to hinder our growth. What can we do? Well, we can build our own. Right? And we know how to do that. It's actually in works right now. We've connected some of those people we talked about that we connected with this past weekend. They're actually talking to their connections all over the industry that are going to help us build this company out. And we're getting all the right stuff in place as we speak. But we couldn't break ground on that until we had the other stuff sorted, right? Like, it wouldn't have made sense for us to start looking at building technology and sites and all this stuff for a second company if we didn't have the other stuff sorted, right? Well, now this stuff's sorted, so we can start moving on to that direction. And we're going to be going into pre-launch mode sometime soon, folks. We don't know when. But what we're going to do, can I touch on the comp plan for just a moment? Or the rough idea, maybe?
I'd say rough idea, since we don't have anything written in stone.
We don't have anything written in stone because we don't know the specific price points and what things cost us and all this other stuff, folks. But essentially what we want to do is have top-level products. We're going to have 3 separate product levels. That are going to range in price from, you know, somewhere around $800 to upwards of $7,500 or so. Like, we're going to have those 3 different price points. And what it's going to consist of is 3 levels of commissions. The first level being somewhere around 50%, the second level being somewhere around 10%, and the third level being somewhere around 5%, meaning you get paid on your team's production on huge commissions, right?
That we make for you. Right. We make all the sales for you.
So, like, imagine 5% of like $7,000. That's I don't know, I'd say $300 or $400 or something like that. You know, it's pretty cool, and that's on your third level down, right? Like, that's really cool stuff here, folks. We want you to be able to earn these higher level commissions. And we're going to be rolling that out. Now we're going to have discounts and all this other stuff on it when people get started at certain things within a certain period of time. As you guys know, we like timers. We like people who take action. We like people who are quick to take action because we know the people that take the most immediate action are the ones that succeed the fastest. The people that get started now are the ones that succeed the fastest. The people that literally jump in with both feet first are the ones that succeed the fastest. And so we want to incentivize those people to take action and give them more discounts and other things, other various things that we don't need to touch on here tonight. But what we're going to do, we're going to go into a pre-launch mode where we're actually going to offer it for an even bigger discount. And that's going to be happening. We don't have a specific date yet. We're waiting to hear,
really soon.
Really soon, though. We're waiting to hear back from our connections on what we can put together. We're going to be talking to them over the next few days, and it's really exciting. I mean, you guys are going to be able to earn. We're going to be able to get this flowing a whole lot sooner than if we didn't do a pre-launch mode. We're going to do a pre-launch mode. We're going to get money flowing, and we're going to put commissions into your pocket. Big commissions, huge commissions are going to go into your pocket. And that's what it's been all about, folks. I mean, we did not build this with the intention of, hey, let's get people to make $25 or $30 commissions, and let's get them to a $5,000 or $10,000 a month income off of those commissions alone. That can happen, but it's going to happen slowly and over time. Like, that still can happen with what we've put together here with Absolutely. Our $25 commissions and with our second level $5 commissions. That can still happen. We're still really excited about that happening, but I think it's a whole lot cooler. And we think it's a whole lot cooler when you can make a $500, a couple thousand, a $5,000 commission in a day, right? Like, that instantly increases your customer value and allows you to get to that $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 monthly income level a whole lot faster. So that's what we're going to be rolling out here in the very near future, folks. We can't get into the product line here tonight because we don't have time. But just know that it is, I promise you, it's something that you guys would buy this whether or not
you can make money
off of it. That's the one thing you need to know. This isn't something that like, I've seen people buy this product before simply because they're like, I want nothing to do with the business. Like, I'm not getting into that business, but I like the product and I want it. And so it's a really, really, really cool thing that we're excited about. With that being said, let's go ahead and bring out our first guest. Go for it, baby.
Awesome. So the first person that I want to bring out is a person that's really, really near and dear to my heart. And the reason for that is because she's my mom. And I have dragged my mom into so many different freaking opportunities. I mean, she can tell you about them in just a second. But she's having a lot of success here. And a lot of success. So I don't actually take her thunder away. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Nancy Price Harnell. Hold on, I got to unmute you first, Mom. Sorry.
I think now she's got to unmute herself.
Can you unmute yourself?
And then tilt the camera down a little bit, too.
Yeah, we can only see your eyes.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Good. This is my first hangout. Yeah, you guys.
Welcome down. So wanted to see if you could just guide people through, what you did to start having success here. Maybe talk about what you used to do in the past and what you've done differently here and what's available differently here. Just talk about anything you want to, actually. Go ahead.
Well, what's available differently here is it's echoing in my ear. I keep hearing myself. What am I doing wrong?
It's probably your headset.
Oh, should I just take that off? Wait.
Is it?
We'll mute ourselves while you're talking. Just go
now
for
everything froze.
Does she still have the Hangout open? The other Hangout?
No, I closed that.
All right, well, we'll mute up while you're talking, and then.
Or you can just unplug your headset. Either way, we can. I don't know if it's us that's echoing or it's you. I don't know.
Is that better? Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can still hear you fine.
Okay. Well, you guys are just changing the world, and Jordan, you really you hit the nail on the head there, because and I don't know if anybody can really appreciate it unless they've struggled trying to market online before, like I have, and like some people have, because there's just so much involved in paid traffic. I've actually I haven't had the courage to put in thousands of dollars, but I have tried hundreds of dollars, and I remember trying spending a few $100s just doing solo ads years ago, and I didn't even get a single lead. And part of that is because my traffic resource wasn't the right resource, of course, but a lot of that is because I just didn't know what I was doing. And there's just so much more to marketing than just plugging into a good traffic resource. You could just change one word in your title and have different effects. And you guys you're doing this for us. You're putting out the thousands of dollars tweaking, just changing one word here and one word there, and seeing what works. And this traffic resource that you're supplying for us, well, it's a gift, and if and I don't understand why some people are just saying, well, they want to use other traffic resources. It's like, why? That's what this whole program is about. Is you guys have this awesome traffic resource, and that's the whole reason. I mean, now half of my downline is from Facebook, but I wouldn't have ever gotten those to begin with if I couldn't say I got 21 signups my very first few days, and by the end of the week I got 31 signups. And I'm not shitting anybody. I've actually, I'm only, I'm as transparent as they come, as far as saying, where I've been and what I can do. And it's just, up until now, I haven't had any success. I maybe had one sign up, and as soon as I get the second sign up, the first one would have quit, and it's just, I've been just chasing my tail for 4 years until Freedom Fighters.
I'm just so excited, Mom. Like, it's just so awesome to see you succeed. Like, you said you had 48 signups the last we talked?
48, yeah. It's been changed since
Yesterday, guys. So this is not like, we talked like a month ago and she had 48 signups. She had 48 signups. Huh?
just the day I did a video was 40 and that was the last video. So we have 6 more since then.
She's got some training coming out, folks. We got some training coming into the back office from Nancy here. That's just awesome. It's so cool because now it was a whole lot easier for you to go out there on Facebook and then tell people, look at all the results I got. It's a lot easier to go out there and tell people how amazing this thing is after you have results, and it works a whole lot better, doesn't it?
It's like it's a huge compliment. Before when you're trying and not getting anywhere, it's hard to go in front of everybody and say, look at me, when I'm not getting any results. But you plug in your it's very easy.
That's awesome. Super, super excited. Really, really excited. You're cutting out a little bit there, but I think the gist of what you were saying, I don't know if you're cutting out for everybody else or just us, but the gist of what you're saying is like it's so much easier to go out there and create more results once you've already had a result. And that's the catch-22 that, literally our team, mine and Jordan's teams in multiple previous companies faced is like, how do you go and create that first result if you don't have any experience? Well, here, what we brought to you guys as a part of the Freedom Fighters Network is a funnel that's tested and proven to convert with a traffic resource that we've tested ourselves across tens of thousands of clicks. We know that it works, and it's just a case of you going and plugging in with it. And then once you plug into it, you can do just what my mom has done, which, she's bringing up training, like Jordan said, here in the next few days. We're going to have that in the back office to show you guys what she did to actually take her 21 signups that she got with our paid traffic resource, with our push button traffic, step 4, what exactly she did to go and literally double her results by going and marketing on Facebook for free. See, she did the paid initially to get herself off the ground, but then after that, she's been doing lots of free marketing, and she's been getting signups like every couple of days for free because of the fact that she had that result initially. So awesome stuff. Thank you so much for coming out. I know it's really late over there. You get up really, really early in the morning, so really, really happy to have had you out here. Thanks so much. And unless there's anything else you want to add, we'll move on to our next person.
Just want to say, honored to be here.
You're most welcome, Mom. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Love ya.
Okay.
Thanks for popping out.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye now.
All right. So the next person that we're going to go ahead and bring out, this person, according to Facebook anyway, it's his anniversary today, and he's decided to spend it with Jordan and I. The next person that we're going to bring out...
It's all you, babe. It's nothing to do with me, trust me.
is an awesome person by the name of Michael Hunt. Michael, come on out. Uh-oh. I don't know if I muted you or you muted you.
There we go. How's that?
Much better. Awesome.
I feel so. I'm getting the echo too.
That's gotta be
us then. Oh, we'll go ahead.
Okay. How's that? Got a good thumbs up on that. Can you hear me? All right. Hey, Eli. How's it going? I feel.
Hey, are we still getting an echo there? Talk again.
Can you hear me now?
Are you still getting an echo?
I'm hearing you echo now. That's kind of weird.
Well, we'll mute out.
I feel honored to be on this webinar with Jordan and Angela and her mom. I feel like I'm sitting in your living room, hanging out with the family. And then Eli here is my sponsor, and so I just feel like I'm part of the family here. Yeah, when I when I joined Freedom Fighters, I had never had, hadn't had much success online. I've had some, excuse me, but I started getting success right away with you guys, and in a matter of just, I think probably 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks or so, I had accumulated about $700 or so in monthly residual income, which was very exciting. And then, of course, we started having the bumps in the road, and things got a little hectic and a little crazy there. And I know you guys were pulling your hair out, and everybody else was getting a little on edge as well. And so things slowed down, and I pulled back a little bit. Wanted to wait until everything got smoothed out before I started pushing more people in. Didn't want to get anybody confused or upset right away, or hear any negative comments that may be out there on the Facebook page. But it looks like you guys have done it, have pulled it out and smoothed everything out, and things seem to be running smoothly. And I'm excited to get back in the saddle and hit it hard again. Actually, I just sent out a Facebook event just a few minutes ago, and seeing if we can get this pumped back up. I'm excited.
Jordan,
and I applaud. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Jordan just saw your event and decided to attend it. So.
Well, I couldn't ask for anybody better to attend my event.
All right. Well, you're lucky it's Angela, because I'm logged in as her over here right now.
Okay. Well, it's fine with me.
I think that's what we'll do, like attraction marketing, you know?
Exactly.
Can you?
And it's my anniversary. It's my 13th wedding anniversary, so 13th on the 13th. My wife is, thank you very much. My wife is sitting in the living room reading a book at the moment. She said she said she was going to finish her chapter and then come to bed. Well, my office is in the bedroom, and I said maybe you should read another chapter first because I'm getting ready to get online. But no, I'm excited, and I applaud you guys, and I don't know. I'm excited to get this going again. I know some people may be a little put off, maybe a little upset that the traffic price will increase slightly. And I just want to say, first of all, it is slightly, and secondly, it doesn't get any easier than this to start having success online. So don't let that bother you. It's not an issue. Things are still running smoothly, and the money that you'll make will cover that slight increase in the cost. So I'm excited.
That's awesome, Michael. Thank you so much, and thanks for coming out, on your anniversary. Before you go, can you just walk people, briefly through what you did to achieve results? Because you've sponsored quite a few people. I don't know how many off the top of my head, but can you walk people through the process that you actually took to start getting results inside of Freedom Fighters?
Sure. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I followed your steps, and did push button traffic. That's really all I did. In addition to that, I would applaud or congratulate or recognize other people's success when I would see that somebody else was having either their very first sale ever or had sponsored 5 people this week or 10 people today or whatever. I would just do a screenshot of that and then post that on my Facebook page and just show the results, show the proof, and show the excitement. And I think just repeatedly doing that created some excitement just within my own circle of friends.
That's awesome, Michael. Awesome. Great to hear about your success too. What were you gonna say to that?
I was just gonna say, isn't it amazing like how simple that is? One lesson I learned long ago, folks. Most people are afraid to do this. I learned this. I think I've always been good at this, or just I don't know if it's been good at it or just something I love doing. But when I start to get results in something, I get excited. Like I'm a really
No.
excitable person. If you haven't noticed, my stepmom's dad, my grandpa Floyd, he actually had always said one thing about me, and I love this, and I just think it's so true. And point proven here is Jordan's a picnic all by himself. You know, like I could just be hanging out by myself and having the best time. I get really excited, you know, and knowing that, folks, like when you go out there, I don't care what level of result you achieve. Typically in the past, I've always said, hey, if you can get one visitor to your website, you shout that from the rooftops because that turns into your first lead. And when you can get one lead, you shout that from the rooftops because that gets more traffic and more leads. And if you can keep doing that and shouting that from the rooftops, you start to get sales, right? Those leads start to turn into sales because you tell people, hey, if you're going to work with me, then I'll teach you what I'm doing to get traffic and leads. And then you get sales. And you just keep snowballing that up and up and up and up to get more and more and more and more sales, more leads, more traffic, etc. Look how easy it was for Angela and I to go onto Facebook and launch a thing saying how we brought 188 people into our business in 60 hours, without the phone, right? All brand new traffic, not bringing an old team over or anything of that nature. Look how easy it was for us to get hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people to pay attention to that one single concept, right? Because people want to get results. They want to know how you're getting results. And so when you can teach them and you say, look how simple this was, you know, some people don't believe it. They're like, is it really that simple? Well, then, yeah, go through the steps and do it. And then they're like, oh, my God, I didn't know how simple that was, right? It's just absolutely amazing. It's amazing.
And
so,
Jordan,
congratulations on your 13th anniversary, too, Michael. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. I do want to add one other thing. You're saying get excited about every lead, about every sale, and all that, and absolutely. I would add, be excited even when you don't have a lead or when you don't have a sale. Be excited for all the others that are having success too, because we're all one big team. You know, follow the Facebook page, and when you see other people being excited, get excited for them.
Yep.
And that just helps to keep the ball rolling, rather than rolling big, stopping until you get another lead or sale, and then rolling again. Keep it rolling by getting excited for everybody else, because, like I said, we're all on the same team here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that brings another point up. I just want to, it's really cool, not even just getting excited here, Michael, but literally taking that concept. I saw a really good friend of ours, Aaron. He doesn't just market his own success and his team's success. He markets everyone in the company's success. Look how easy this is. Look at this person who just got these results. Look at that person who got these results. It didn't matter if the person was in his team or it was his own success. He was able to use other people's results to market. And folks, realize, here's a really important thing, and this comes with, really starting to understand the abundance of the universe, that there is more than enough to go around. That there is literally so much going around that there's more than enough. And if you, if you get turned off by other people succeeding, you say, oh my God, well, them succeeding there means that I am not going to be able to get my share over here. That's completely BS. If you literally celebrate it all together, we move forward together as a team. We move forward together as a unit. And the more successful we all become, the bigger we can grow and the more lives we can impact, the more people we can affect. Because as each new success comes in, as each new success comes on board, as you guys go look in the Facebook group, I mean, I'm getting emails every day still of, oh my God, I just plugged in 2 days ago. Who was the one guy? It was his first day. You know who? Something Gouts. Chris Gouts, I believe, or Fouts. Sorry.
Yeah.
Day one got a result. Day two got another result, probably from marketing day one's result. Right?
Yeah.
And we just keep seeing that stuff each and every single day. Well, folks, if there was only I remember being in companies where literally 2 people were succeeding, and I'd try and market that thing to the moon, and they'd be like, dude, there's 2 people in the whole company succeeding. And you're like, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say to that. It's when you can market the fact that there are people from all walks of life, from all different levels. We've got grandmas and grandpas that had never really done anything online before getting results. We've got people that are their first time online getting results. We've got people that have been struggling for years getting results. We've got literally, you name it, across the board. We have people getting results from all different levels. And when you can share that story, one really important thing I learned from a guy years ago, made about $100 million in commissions. You guys heard me right on that. $100 million in commissions is when someone comes to you and they say like, well, I'm not sure about your company because of this. They come to you with an objection or whatever. Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I do know about this one grandma over here who struggled online for years, and now she just got her first 7 signups, in her first week. Now, I don't know about that, but I know about this guy, and I don't know how many signups you've got now, Michael, quite a few, a ton that you've gotten. I don't know about that, but I know about this guy, Michael, who got XYZ amount of signups following this simple plug-and-play system. I don't know about that, but I know about this brand new person who hopefully we can get on if the technical difficulties don't ensue, Juan Pablo, who is brand new to online marketing and brought 100 people in these first 52 days. I don't know about that, but this, right? There's so many stories that when you guys realize this, you can take that and you can run with that to the moon. Some of you said, hey, how do I get my leads that I'm generating with paid traffic if I didn't get signups off of my first $100 package or $200 package? What do I do to get some signups? Well, you talk about everyone else's stories, right? And those leads will convert, right? It's a rare instance that you wouldn't get signups off of $200 of traffic, but if it does happen, that's what you can do. Shout from the rooftops everyone else's success stories, and it's just absolutely amazing. And then we can run to the moon together, right? Because it's a whole lot more fun. One thing we've realized is a whole lot more fun when other people are succeeding with us.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. So the next person that we want to bring out, thanks again for coming out, Michael. The next person we want to bring out is a really, really good friend of ours, been with us since day one, seen all the struggles, been there for all the successes, and is on board with us moving into the future. I'd love to bring out Eli Gonzalez. Eli, come on out. Uh-oh, can we hear ya? I don't think we can hear ya.
My phone, my thing muted.
Oh, nice.
How's it going, guys? I was saying that
Oh, awesome.
I didn't know it was bring your family out night, so I didn't bring anybody with me.
Nice.
I love that. And Michael, that's pretty amazing. I met your wife. She's really nice, but I didn't know how nice she was until tonight. Letting you come out and do business, and I'm not sure if my wife would have been quite as nice about that.
That's awesome.
Any other time, but come on, tonight? No, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Angela, how's that? I mean, you bring, normally you go online not to bring your family on board, right? You don't want to talk to your family, friends, and family, but they come to you now and they just want to join. It's pretty amazing when that happens.
Results.
Yeah, exactly. They do come to me. I mean, my mom was like so excited when we launched the Freedom Fighters because I told her the vision of it, and here she'd been struggling in the last company that we were in for literally going on, I think 4 years or 3 years, and then a year before that in a different company. And I'm like, yeah, we created this thing where, basically you don't have to pitch friends and family. I'm not pitching. You're more than welcome to come in or not come in, but don't pitch anybody else because none of them are going to listen to us because we already pitched them on so many other freaking deals over the years. Came in and just got traffic and has been succeeding ever since. She's got her own Facebook group now. She's rocking and rolling.
No, it's nice to see. When people see success, they're just attracted to it. That's all that comes down to it. And that's what happened with this company. I mean, even before it started, I aligned with your vision. First of all, you guys came up with a way that the average person can actually make money working online, not knocking on doors, not going to hotel meetings, not going to private receptions every day. I mean, anybody that's online pretty much have done that at one time or another in the past, right? So they're looking for something better because they know that that's a very slow and very, very hard thing to put up with. Too much rejection. You're actually getting it to your face. This is all automated. You don't even see the person until after they've joined. It's pretty amazing. So, but that's what brought me, was that you guys put something together. Anybody can put this together if they spend, 5 years studying this stuff, right? If you spend 5 years studying this stuff online, you can go out there and create your own lead capture page. You can go out there and create, your own sales funnel. But that's after 5 years. Nobody wants to go through all that learning curve. And you guys put it in a very small package, 5 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just follow the steps. Listen to some videos, and you're done. And I'm not hours of video. You know, I like yeah, I hear you mention that a lot, Angela. I mean, I've been in a lot of different deals that you come on board and say, oh no, it's a system, it's very easy. You know, you just follow the system. You get on there, and 2 weeks later, you look up and it's like, oh, I just finally went through the through the training. And I didn't understand it because it was so bizarre and so many things to do that I got to go through it again. And then this month later, and I still haven't done anything. You know.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? I think that like the first training course I bought, I went through like 10 times, and it was like a 2-hour course. So I was like 20 hours like in learning mode before I even started marketing. And then when I started marketing, like everything that I did flopped because I still didn't really know what I was doing. I just felt like I may have some kind of inkling, which clearly I was wrong. You know, and that's how most things out there are. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what else that aligned with you guys was that you actually are doing it for them, because you know, a lot of times you go out there and you're with a company, yeah, they'll give you a system that doesn't convert, you know, it doesn't create sales. You know, they'll have a page that has a lead capture page where they need to put all their information in all at one time. Doesn't even have a video. It's just, you know, plain, you know, this is what we do. You know, we sell liquids. You know, let us have your information so you can learn more about our liquids. You know, and and those things don't convert. They don't create any sales. You know, on the back end, you're buying a $500 product, and so wait a second. I just hadn't signed up for some information about the liquids, and you want me to buy $500 worth of stuff without even telling me what it's all about? You know, so a lot of that stuff doesn't work. Even though it's a system, it doesn't work. You guys created a system, and it works. I mean, it works better than anything else out there. And I'm saying that from experience, because you know, out there, very good, very awesome system, best internet marketers out in the world. They expect 1% conversion rate from lead to sale. Yep. From lead to sale, we're getting, I forget. Let me look and see if I have some of those numbers. It's crazy. I had it somewhere here. Give me a second.
1% from lead to sale, right?
Lead to sale. So you needed 100. You needed to get 10 leads. You needed 100. So basically, 1,000 people looking at the website, you might get one sale. It's the way that it normally works. Over here, it's getting from lead to sale. I'm getting anywhere from 8.3% all the way up to 12.5%. I mean, that's like. How much is that? 800 to 1,200% more out there. So it's crazy numbers, and anybody can do it. And that's the thing. I'm not doing anything different than the new person's doing. They're putting a link out in front somewhere in the internet, whether it's Facebook or wherever you put it, and people are clicking on that. They're going to go watch a video. They go sign themselves up, and then you find out who they are afterwards. I mean. And that's the simplest thing that there is to do out there, bar none. I mean, literally, and the results are so high that you don't need to be buying thousands of dollars. I literally, you know, and there's a few stories that I have for spending anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 and not getting any sales out of it. So, there's a lot of stuff out there that don't work. And you know, when I see people over here come on board and literally overnight, I mean. I was just talking to Pascal. He's out on the Facebook group a lot. You know, he literally got his first sale within a couple hours of coming on board. It was crazy. And he's never done anything online. Well, he was starting to learn something online, but he's never made any money online whatsoever. I mean, you're talking he's freshly new within the last 6 months. He even looked at online, and he came on board and boom, you know, got his first sale, and then boom, got his another sale within the next day. The next 24 hours, you know, and just kept on growing. And now he has gotten, I don't know, like 40 sales or something like that. Who does that? Who comes on board with a company and recruit 40 people their very first month? Nobody. I mean, go across the board. I mean, the numbers are so minute, you might as well say nobody, right? Right. They're 1 in a million that actually get to be able to do that kind of stuff. I've worked with some of the top guys out there, and we've been able to do stuff like this, but it wasn't like, you know, 1 in what the numbers I gave you, like 12 every 100, you know, actually sign up to buy. You know, it's always 1,000, 2,000 people look at something, and you might get a sale. That's it, you know, and unless you have, you know, 10,000 people in your Facebook group, you're not going to get many sales by doing freebie stuff with other stuff out there. But with this, people literally, they just put an event up, people go watch the video, and they sign up. It's you can't beat that, you know. And, you know, some people are stuck in what happens in the past and things like that. The past is the past, and it doesn't matter what happened, you know, just a few weeks ago. Just to give you a story, I mean, I was with this other company for about 3 years. You know, and
Eli, before you jump into that, I do want you to tell this story, so I do want you to go with that. But I got to just say something. There's some people that are attempting to buy traffic right now, and you're getting declines. More than likely, if you just call the number on the back of your card, it's not going through because it's the bank in Australia, right? Because it's Esmont. Esmont's Australia-based company. So if you just call them and say, yes, I'm trying to make this purchase. I actually had to do that when I was testing earlier today. I had to call my bank and say, hey, yeah, I do mean to do this purchase. Then it'll get that to go through, and you'll get put into the queue. So I just wanted to throw that out there, folks. Just call the number on the back of your card and let them know that you are intending, in fact, to purchase some marketing. So take it away, Eli.
Yeah, no, actually, that's happened to me a lot. I buy a lot of stuff online, and anytime that's overseas, a lot of times my bank has actually stopped me from purchasing even in the United States. I mean, I've been traveling, like buy gas in Florida, and then I buy it in Georgia, and I buy South Carolina. I try to buy gas, and they'll turn off the card on me, thinking that somebody took off with it. You know, when you buy overseas, the same thing happens. They're trying to control it a little bit to minimize their losses. So you just have to make a phone call, and they'll take care of it. So anyway, but you know, talking about, you know, going through, you know, some rough patches. I've been in a lot of startups. Just being in business for 15 years, it just comes across, you know, and there's always some kind of issues that show up because it's new, you know, and there's a lot of things that come up that happen. But, you know, usually they take a long time, or they just literally, the company just crumbles and goes away. And you guys just came out on this thing like champions in just a few days. It's amazing to me because the last one that I was in that had very similar problems, it took about a year for that company to bounce back from that, and just, you know, it took forever for them to get themselves together. And, you know, I actually hanged around, you know, just looking, but when I got back on board on that, you know, I almost made 6 figures my first year with that, just because I hanged around long enough and listened, you know, until they got their ducks in a row and they got their stuff fixed. You guys got your stuff fixed in just a matter of just a few days, and if people don't understand that, they haven't been in business very long, because literally a lot of things that happen just, you know, take a long time to get it fixed because it's out of your hands. You have other people working for you to try to get, you know, systems together. You guys have awesome people working for you guys, because I mean, it's like this. Every time that there's something wrong, within a few days, it's fixed. It's fixed. It's fixed. And that's what you want out of the company owners, to be able to have that kind of resources to be able to get that. And in the long run, whatever happened yesterday or what even happened today, it doesn't matter. It's that everything's fixed now. Okay, let's see what's going to happen in the future, because nothing that's happened in the past, whether you did awesome, I mean, you could be making millions, you know, last month. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing today or tomorrow or the next day, it won't matter. If you lost all kinds of money, you know, the month before, it doesn't matter, because what matters from this forward, and that's a lot of people live in the past, and that's not where you're going to want to be living. If you're going to be a true entrepreneur and you want to take your business to the next level, you want to know what I'm going to be doing 3 months from now, or a year from now, or 5 years from now. Those are your goals. You concentrate on those goals, not anything that got in the way of those goals in the past. Because why? I mean, okay, I got past all those stumbling blocks, or whatever you want to call them. I want to concentrate on the future, on where I want it to be to begin with, and you know, the everything about everything is the same, or actually it's even better than what it was when everything started. You know, it's like you started with a company that didn't have a track record. Now you have a company that has a track record, that has fixed everything that was to be fixed. Let's go. I mean, so, you know, I'm looking forward to the future, you know, and I was actually fixated because I got here late. I was like, I'm dressed up and stuff, but I had some other things going on tonight, previous engagements. But on the way, I was listening on my phone. Jacket, sports jacket, not a suit quite.
Oh, nice.
It's like, you know, this is dressing up. I get it.
For me, Yeah, for me, anything's dressing up, so.
Yeah. It's like, turning your cap up the right way, right?
Somewhere that's dressing up.
No, listening to you guys on the way here, I heard, about the top tier product. And and I'm looking 65% of the money that's coming in from that product you're going to put out in the field. That blew my mind. And to be able to do it within 3 levels, a lot of people don't get very deep. They just go, in this kind of business you go wide because it's so easy. You just send traffic and people buy. So if you can get all your money within the first 3 levels, that's awesome. You don't have to wait. I see a lot of these companies that have, like 5x8 matrix or a 3x12 matrix. And all the money's at the bottom, where nobody can get to it. It's like
you gotta wait till you're like 12 levels.
And then 0.5%, and then 20% at the bottom. It's like nobody ever gets down there. It's like whatever. But you guys are actually, people are going to get rewarded for their efforts very quickly, and that's what you want, in any business. I mean, as an entrepreneur versus, a lot of people think, that you're online with one particular company or whatever, but you're actually in business for yourself, right? And no matter what you're doing, you have the tools, the company gives you the tools, but you're in business for yourself, and you want to be able to take that money and reinvest it to grow your business to get to the next level. And you guys are doing that, and I can't wait until I see how that all works, because I see how good the front end works, right? I can't imagine how awesome it's going to be to get, I don't know, $500, $1,000, or $7,000 commissions, whatever it's going to be, in the back end automatically. People just automatically just sending you money basically because of what the stuff you guys put together. It just blows my mind. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's like all this stuff that whatever's happened in the last couple of weeks to a couple of days, that's all over. I'm looking forward to the future, and I can see a lot of 7-figure earners in this company this first year alone. It's going to be amazing.
That's awesome, man. We're excited.
Thank you.
Eli, I love thinking about. We just ordered his book in the mail, and my dad actually just texted me. I'm going to get in touch with this guy. I used to cook in his kitchen. He owns downtown Greendale, which is the town that I lived in when I was a kid.
Wow.
Essentially, he bought downtown Greendale for about $50 million. Right. This was after he retired from his company. He sold his company for $750 million, $750 million, right? But looking back, I never knew his story, right? He did some things. Now this is really cool, folks. He did things that defied all logic in the industry he was in, right? He created a magazine company wherein the magazine sustained itself based off of subscription alone. It did not actually sell advertising space. He wanted to provide nothing but phenomenal content in his magazine, and in doing so, every single person that he worked with said that's not even possible. You can't do that. You have to sell advertising space in the magazines to allow for you to make money as a company, because people will not pay a premium price for magazines. It's just they won't do it, right? He did that with 8 magazines now, 8 different publications now, defying all logic, doing things that everyone said he could not do. Well, here's the crazy thing to think about. His first 2 companies flopped. His first 2 attempts went down through the ground. He went to his wife after his second flop. He said, "Honey, I know the first 2 bankrupted us. I know we literally have no money. I know we have struggled through 2 of these failures. We got to do it again. This is my dream. I'm gonna do this, and I promise you, if we don't make it, we're gonna make it anyway." And he started that 3rd magazine in his basement. On one of those TV trays, TV tray tables that TV dinner tables or whatever you call them, and a typewriter. And he had to support the table by bracing it with his legs because it was so rickety. And he started this down in his damp, dark basement, and that is what went on. The 3rd attempt is what went on to become a multi-million-dollar company. At $750 million, he sold it to Reader's Digest for about 10 or 15 years ago or so. And he actually now ended up buying it back because Reader's Digest couldn't, they couldn't run with the same vision that he had created because they're not him. And folks, we went through our flops. We went through the struggles. We went through the stumbling blocks. We're on to the moon now. And the thing that you're going to know is you've got a few different options here. One of them is to say, yeah, prove it. You know, prove it to us, and we'll sit here and watch. Well, that's what me and Angela did. That's what Eli did in that company. We sat and watched.
Eli came back actually a little bit before us.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's a little more intelligent than us.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you know, the thing was, I was watching that, and I remember I would get pass-ups from one of my team members, and I'd be like, dang it, they're making this money. Or this guy would text me. I told him, text me when you have success. He wasn't even in my team. He just wanted to celebrate. So he starts texting me about his commissions coming in, and I'm like, dang it, I'm not making that kind of money. You know, this was a student of mine. He's making more money than me. It took me almost a year to go back, right? And there's going to be people that look at this and they say, yeah, nope, we're gonna just wait and see what happens, and they're gonna wait and wait and wait for a very long time, and they're gonna come back and they're gonna make money with us. They're gonna come back and make a ton of money with us because this thing's going to the moon for quite a few years. They're gonna come back, they're gonna make a lot of money with us, but they're gonna look back and they're gonna say, you know what? I should have stuck around right at the beginning, because those are the people. And I'm not saying that someone joins a year from now or 2 years from now can't go on and make millions with us, because they can, and they will, right? Like, we'll have that. That will happen, right? With what we're rolling out, with the company that we're running with, folks, this is not a company that people are going to say, oh, I'm sick of doing that, or I'm sick of that product. It's not one that people get sick of, trust me. This company that we're going to be running with is going to keep this thing around for tens of years. I know it.
Well, it's our company, too.
And it's our company, you know. It's going to be amazing, right? And so people that come back in a year or 2 years, whatever, they'll be fine. They'll make a ton of money with us. But it's the people that literally stick here right now that will be in the position. It's kind of like the people that got like Coca-Cola stock, you know, when they were like a janitor at Coca-Cola, or, you know, got Microsoft. Look at what town is that? I think it's something like Seattle or something, right? Microsoft is out there. How many, I mean, we were out in Seattle. How many Lamborghinis and Ferraris and nice cars did you see? A lot of those belong to like janitors and secretaries and people that worked at Microsoft. Why? Because they got in at the ground. They were in at the ground floor. They were in at the ground floor.
Always easier in the ground floor.
It's always easier.
There's like,
right on.
Yeah.
But
no, we still made 6 figures when we came back, but we would have made $1 million or more had we not left that previous company.
Yep.
I mean, we know that for certain. There was friends of ours that were making right around the same money as us, had the same marketing level of experience, had all of the things that we had, and went on to make, 2 of our friends went on to make $1 million that year that we left. When we came back, it was like, yeah, we still made money. We still made 6-figure income, but it's not the same as being around in the beginning. Eli came back before us, did a lot better than us.
No, but I'm in the same boat as you. It's like, yeah. I saw the same guys that you know. It's like, okay, that's a whole other 3 figures that you could add, you know, 3 more zeros to that if we just hanged around and started, just went through it. You know, the nice thing about it is that you guys, we don't have to wait a year with the mess up. It's like they messed up and they kept it going, messing up for almost a year, and even then those people ended up making money. Here everything's fixed now. Like, it's like there's no 2 ways about it. You just gotta get on board with us now, and, you know, lock arms and let's go run. You know, that's all.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Well, Eli, man, we definitely want to hear more from you, but we've got someone too that's been sitting here waiting in the wings to jump out here and share its secrets. And it's just like it's just so awesome to have him on here as well. And we're excited to hear what he's done, because I've quite honestly never seen someone do this before.
You're about to meet Boy Genius.
Yeah, I mean, Eli, just in a nutshell, so people know this. Now he joined us day 1 of him being online. He had never done online marketing, home business, nothing before. He joined us.
Hold on, I have to say, his closest thing ever to online marketing, I asked him, he said he worked at T-Mobile. So that was like semi-selling. But other than that, he'd never done an MLM, never an online marketing thing, never anything like that. So I just wanted to clarify, because some people out there, they'll like tell you they've never done this before, and then you find a funnel they created from like 5 years ago, and it's like, I'm brand new. And it was 5 years ago, and you're like, wait a minute, yeah. I think I just saw that you're brand new like last month. Like, what happened? He's actually brand new.
Right.
Like, actually never touched online marketing before.
Right.
So,
It's kind of like me saying, like, I was brand new in 6 years ago, but I actually was in an MLM for about 3 weeks years before that. But I spent most of my time getting drunk because I was 19 in college. Like, I didn't actually, you know, I wasn't actually really serious about starting a business. You know, I was busy partying. So I was in for about 3 weeks before the company folded, and I never did anything with it. But yeah, that's kind of like that, right? That being said, 100 people in his first 52 days online ever, and to me that is just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So Juan Pablo Gomez Jr., man, go ahead, go for it.
How are y'all doing?
Awesome.
Doing
Man.
awesome. How are
Can
you?
you hear me? Can you
Loud
hear
and
me?
clear, man.
All right.
We can hear you. We can't. Well, we can hear you.
You can't what?
Oh, now we can see you.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome.
It's probably
Yep,
freezing.
yep. We'll go ahead and mute out.
Cool. Yeah, I just reached a little over 2 months of joining the Freedom Fighter Network, and give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because I can see you on the screen, but I don't see myself. Can you hear me? All right. So it's been a little over 2 months. I started on August the 5th, and I'm at 119 people last I checked. 119 people, and I have no experience ever doing anything like this. The only thing, like Angela said, that I've done is T-Mobile, and I did T-Mobile when I was in high school for about a year and a half, selling, and that's really the only experience I have with selling anything, just point blank in my life, and I did it at a mall, and I would just sell to people with little flyers saying, hey, this is the promotion for the month or whatever the week, and I was actually pretty good at it, and all it really took is just talking to people, and this is basically the same thing but online. I didn't know what I was getting into. I just saw an opportunity. I saw Jordan's and Angela's message, that you've seen probably or you need to see, and I believed it, and I started with them, and basically been doing the same thing, spreading that same video to millions of people, and basically have built over 100 people in less than 2 months instantly, just by following those 5 easy steps. I mean, it's very simple. You'll see, you might hit a roadblock and you might, man, I don't understand this. I don't know what I'm doing. You'll get past that. You'll get past that, because we'll all reach a roadblock, and we all have different levels of roadblocks that we come upon. But the good thing is that you do it, like, and the key thing is staying focused, and when you don't understand something, go back and rewatch a step or a video, or ask the same question 100 times until you fully understand it yourself. You might think you understand it, but until you implement it and know for sure you're doing the right thing, then for sure you then you know that you're doing something right. And what I'm getting to is, like, step 5. When I went through those first 5 steps, I didn't, I'm new to this. I don't know what I was doing. I was just like, I just believed in what Angela and Jordan said, so I followed exactly what they said. And when I went through all the 5 steps, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, let's make some money. I want to make people dance. Woo! I literally watched that step about 5 or 6 times, and I'm not joking. I literally watched it. I stayed watching it like an hour or 2 hours of my own time, just watching it over and over on replay, because I was making sure I had one tab open watching that video and another tab making my event and adding groups like Jordan was teaching me. And I was just making sure I was precise, and making sure that I followed every step that he told me. I made my first event, and within the first 5 hours, I got my first money dance. And it was from a close friend of mine. Or anything like this, and he just like, man, I'm excited, and he's still on my team. He has about 20 people on his team as well, so it's easy. It's as easy as making your first event and just getting going. That's all you need to get going. I see a lot of people, the downfall in people signing up is that they sign up, but they don't take action, like Jordan and Angela said. If you don't take action right away, you're not gonna see results. If you want to make money, you want to make money dances, you need to take action from the minute you sign up. Go through the steps. Don't wait any time. Don't wait. Just go through it right away, and I promise you, you'll see results. If you wait, then you're gonna start doubting something because it's not the system, it's yourself that's not taking action. You got to take action in order to see results because everything's already built for you. It's gonna. You just need to implement it. And that's all you gotta do. It's as easy as that. That's all.
That's awesome. Man, I'm just so excited for you. Like, not only do you have like 119 signups, you've got like a good friend of yours that came in from your Facebook event that's also got like 20 signups. That's just freaking, that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. No, like Jordan and I wholeheartedly believe about, people taking action. That's why we have the timers on our page. It's like we don't want to, give somebody a free trial on something if it takes them, a week to decide whether or not they even want to do it. Like, what the heck, people that we're going to have such an easy time actually going in and changing their lives are the people that are willing to take action, like you've been willing to take action. When Jordan and I were on a walk earlier today, something that's coming, I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. This is pretty exciting. A lot of other companies out there, once you get started with a free trial, they have like a one-click upsell, right? Like pretty much every company except for us has this. And it's cool, whatever, like it's another like money maker thing and, something that affiliates can do. But like we've always said, we don't want to like sell training. We want the training, like the mindset stuff. We want the marketing training. We want everything to be actually like included in our $47 monthly membership. We don't want to have people, looking elsewhere. We want to have just our leaders creating trainings and things like that. And then have, our members be able to be taught from the best of people that are out there getting, really, really remarkable results with our system. So we were talking about, how can we put more money in the affiliate's pocket without doing one of these like, cookie cutter one-click upsells where you're selling a training or whatever. And what we came up with, we're going to be, split testing this before we actually announce it live to the public. Am I not supposed to say this?
You're not supposed. We can't talk about any of this stuff yet.
Really?
We got to talk about it later. Nope.
Okay. I thought we were launching it tonight. It's on the outline.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Oh, well, never mind. Sorry. So we've got something really cool.
I think that thing accidentally snuck into the outline is what it did. I don't know how that ended up on there.
So anyway, we've got a way for you guys to make more money without selling you guys, a cookie cutter training of sorts because we did never want to do that. So we've got a way for you guys to make more money. That's coming that I will not talk about so that I don't get kicked under the table again.
Yeah. Oh,
all right.
That is awesome. So, folks, we've been here for 2 hours and 15 minutes going on now, and if you noticed one thing that pretty much everyone said here, get traffic and then talk about your results. And it's a whole lot easier to talk about results once you have results. That's our entire model. That's our entire game plan. It's stupid simple. Like, people are like, can it really work? Well, because it's so simple, people get like overwhelmed by it and confused. That's why we built it this way. That's why we did it this way is because we didn't want to have it where you have to come in and learn all sorts of crazy marketing strategies and complicated stuff. We're adding that stuff. You'll notice that marketing strategies are coming into the marketing training platform. You'll notice as you get results that you get into a level where we start teaching you higher level stuff, team building stuff, team training stuff, things that once you have 5 or 10 or 15 people on your team, you can go out there and start doing some of these different things. We'll teach you team building strategies, next level stuff. It all starts with you getting your first result. That's all it starts with is you getting your first result. And success loves speed. Success loves speed. When you can plug in and get a result quickly, folks. I'm not talking about, it took me, what did it take me, 8 months to get my first sign up into the company I was involved in, 8 months to get my first sign up. I had made a sale of an affiliate product before that, but 8 months for me to sign up my first representative and team member into my team. It took me another 9 months, another 10 months after that to get my second sign up, right? My success was very slow growing. It was, it was not catapulted to the moon. Had I come in and brought 119 people in my first 2 months or so, like Juan here, I would have been able to grow a whole lot faster. I would have been able to go to the moon a whole lot faster because people are attracted to big success, right? So when you can come in here and you can plug in, and you can get traffic, and you can get a result in your first week, 2 weeks or so, whatever. You can get results automatically. You can then turn around and take that result and say, look at how I did this. I did it, and I'm brand new, and I don't know anything. I've been in online for 2 months. Or, hey, I've struggled online for 7 years, and I finally saw my first results. We get handfuls, dozens of emails on a regular basis. Sometimes even daily we get that many, where people are like, oh my God, I didn't believe this was so simple. You know, I bought traffic. Yeah, it took a few weeks to kick in. Sorry about that, folks. We got sorted.
Yeah.
It took a few weeks to kick in, but when it did, oh my God, I got results. I've been online for 13 years and I've never gotten a result. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be here, right? Like, so many people are sending us messages like that all the time. Now they're able to turn around and take that result and market it to the moon, right? And that's really, you know, folks, the vision for us to bring in 20, we know that not all of that is going to come from our traffic. Not all of that is going to come from our paid traffic resources. We know that, right?
But it'll start with our traffic.
That's where it's going to start, right? Like, that is what is going to start pushing us into that direction. We know how we got to our first 10,000 members. We know how we got to our first 20,000 members. We know how we got there. And this is the way that we did it, right? And this is how we're going to do it again. And it's not going to be just Angela and I jumping out there and bringing in 1,000 people ourselves and then, you know, whatever. It's going to be you locking arms with us, making that decision to run with us, making that decision to go to the moon with us, getting your traffic right now, getting your results as quickly as you can, bringing your team members in, telling them, hey, look what I did. I got traffic. Go get some results. Then you market results all over the place. That is the vision. That's how we're going to go to the moon here. That's how we're going to bring in 20,000 people in the next 30 days. It's not going to be just Angela and me. It can't possibly, I promise you, it cannot possibly be just Angela and me to go bring in 20,000 people in the next 30 days. I mean, it could. If we were to just go and buy a ton of traffic, we could absolutely do that. But it's going to be a whole lot more fun when it's all of you out there succeeding, when your team members are bringing in 19 or 20 people, when you have team members getting on Hangouts with you because of the results you're getting, when you see like Eli and his team member, I didn't even know that they were associated, and his team member was on the hangout with him, and you know, we didn't plan that, we didn't know that, right? Like, you're gonna end up on a hangout with your team member, and we're not even gonna know that you guys are related, and it's gonna be exciting, right? Like, that is going to be awesome. We're gonna go to the moon because of you, right? Like, me and Angela built this not for ourselves, because the bottom line is this. You know, I was sitting at a dinner with a couple people that make a lot of money. And they said, Jordan, you know, I'm looking at joining your company, not because of me. I've made 30, 40, 50,000 a month. I can do that again and again. I can sell stuff. I can bring people in. I can make big sales. I can earn the big commissions. My team members struggle. My team members struggle, right? Me and Angela didn't create this for me and her, right? Like, yeah, we want to use it because it's awesome, and we've never actually had anything that worked. I always had a dream back in the day of not calling my leads, of not prospecting my leads. You know, I always had a dream of that. And I remember being told that wasn't possible. Well, then we found out it's possible to not call your leads, but now we had a dream of, hey, is there a way to actually build a business without having to email your freaking list daily? Because quite honestly, sometimes, you know, emailing daily, it can take 30 to 60 minutes a day. And I don't know about you, but there's days where I just don't feel like working even 30 to 60 minutes. I don't want to touch my computer, right? That was always a dream, right? Well, now it's a reality, because the results were never good enough on the front end. We were always taught you have to email your list for 3 to 6 months to see the full fruition of those leads you generated. You know, one of the biggest cold traffic marketers that I knew back in the day, definitely not the biggest that I know now, but one of the biggest ones I knew back in the day, he had said, Jordan, 3 to 6 months before you see the full fruition of what those leads are going to produce for you inside of your company. 3 to 6 months of mailing and building a relationship. And we're not telling you not to email your list. What we're saying is, guys, we got a way where you can get results before that even happens. And then you can turn around and email your results to the people, and you'll get more results. That's our entire vision here. That's our mission. We don't want to email every day, but you can. Right? Like, you can go do that. We don't want to get on the phone with people. You can do that if you want. You don't have to. That's been our entire vision here. It is now here, but the coolest thing to see ever is so many other people succeeding, so many other people plugging in, following a simple formula and getting results and saying to us, you know, they're so excited because they're like, this works because it's so simple. Like, I've never been involved in something where I could plug in less than 60 minutes, go through the entire setup, training, everything, and be done and be on with your day and have an entire business set up and built and running within 60 minutes of getting started. A lot of people will say, yeah, get started today, start making money today. Only then you're 8 hours of setup, and you're like, okay, now I finally got my autoresponder configured and set up with the page. Okay, now I have to learn marketing. So now you spend another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks learning marketing, and you're implementing a little bit of that, and you get like a lead on week 3 or week 4. You're like, oh my God, I got my first lead, right? That happens then. It's absolutely insanely, vastly different than what we've put together here, because folks, you can plug in, get up, get set up, get running, have your marketing done in less than an hour. And people are actually getting their very first signups inside of a few hours of getting started here, inside of a few days of getting started here, like nothing I've ever seen before in my life. If it was a few people saying it, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. It's literally, I can't even count the number of people that we've seen in our Facebook group, and the messages that Angela and I get, the messages that our support system gets, the messages that our people get, the emails that we receive on a regular basis of people talking about the results that they've gotten by following this simple formula here. That's the vision, is the simple formula. We're going to the moon, folks. We're going there. And it all starts with you tapping into the simplicity of this. Again, plug in, get started. If somehow you made it to this hangout and you're not yet in, get back with the person who invited you here and get started. Or just go to thefreedomfightersnetwork.com. Whoever invited you there you'll be coded to. Like, we have our cookie system in place that'll code them to you and all that stuff. You'll be joining with the person who invited you here. Plug in, follow our less than 60-minute long 5-step getting started guide, and you'll be off and marketing and on your way. Get traffic, get results, market results. Let's take this thing to the moon. 20,000 members in the next 30 days, 20,000 more members in the next 30 days. That's how we're going to go on and prepare ourselves for what's about to come, folks, with this top tier, because we're not talking about $25 commissions, and we're not talking about $5 commissions from your second tier. We're talking about $500 and $2,000, $3,000 commissions, $5,000 commissions, maybe $6,000 commissions. We're talking amazing, amazing commissions here, folks. We're talking about just absolutely phenomenal stuff here, folks. A lot of money is going to be paid out here. A lot of money is going to be paid out here. And you have the ability to plug in with us right now. Be here when we launch it. And when we do
have a team when we launch it.
And have a team when we launch it, because when you have a team joining underneath you, I mean, my God, you know, when you have a team rolling out with you on this thing, it's going to be a whole lot more powerful. It's going to be a whole lot more amazing. You go from, you know, making the $25 and $5 commissions to literally making thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in single days. That's the vision here. I mean, even upwards of, I wouldn't doubt that we'll have people making 6 figures in their first week when we roll this thing out. You know, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, and that's going to be pre-launch mode. Wait till we actually launch this thing. So I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to remind you guys, if you guys are getting declined, I was just on Skype and noticing here that quite a few of you guys have tried to purchase traffic and you're getting declined. The reason for that is because it's an Australian bank. All you need to do in order to push that charge through is call your bank, tell them that you mean to actually make the charge, and they will allow that to go through. That way we can still get you guys in. Whoever orders before midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight, we will be able to push your traffic starting on Friday. Anyone that orders between midnight tonight and Friday, midnight on Friday night, we'll push your traffic on Monday. Monday of next week, that is. Just another quick recap on the pricing here. The price is staying the same. We were able to lock that in for the next 5 days. It's just 80 cents a click. We've got, I believe, $200, $300, $500 packages, as well as $1,000 packages you can buy with your credit card inside of step 4. That's at 80 cents a click. Friday at midnight, the price goes up to 90 cents because our price goes up. And the other thing, too, is if you guys want to purchase $1,000 or more of our traffic, we will allow you to get a deeper discount by doing a wire transfer. And again, in order to do that, you can send an email to wire@thefreedomfightersnetwork.com, and we will get you over the details. If you send a wire, it's just 75 cents a click. So that's basically all we got here tonight. You know, really, really excited about where we're going, the direction that we're moving. Really excited to have all of the bumps in the road behind us because there were quite a few. But, you know, like Jordan said in the beginning, it's like nothing has ever challenged the status quo without facing issues. If you weren't going to face issues, then something would have challenged the status quo, you know, a long time ago. Something like the Freedom Fighters Network would have come out years ago, but it hadn't because, we're willing to fight for it. You know, we're willing to do whatever it takes. We have been willing to do whatever it takes over the past several weeks, 20-hour days, because our why is so big. Our why is you guys. We want you guys to succeed more than anything, because we've watched our teams in previous things just flounder and flounder and flounder, and it's not fair. You know, we want you guys to be able to come in to something. You watch the sales video, it says you can succeed if you get started. You better be able to friggin' succeed when you get started. You can here. So lock arms with us, and let's go to the moon together. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Good night.